Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Philly Friday Frenzy here with Big Al on the It's a Rap Sports Network. For those who are new, I do double duty tonight. That's right, double duty of covering the week's sports news, sports conversations, as well as lead you in during the Phillies Friday game right now. To discuss the Titans final and discuss tonight's game. But tonight, before that, we're going to talk about the current state of the Phillies. We're going to talk about the Phillies right now down 3-0 to the Rockies. Luzardo not having the greatest pitching out right now. He's got 82 pitches thrown in only 4 innings with no outs. Well, maybe one right here. Nope, not even one right there. Good bunt placement. 2 men on base, no outs, 4th inning, 83 pitches thrown, 3-0 Colorado. Right after a 2-run homer from Hunter Goodman. So 2 days in a row, some starting struggling pitching from the Phillies. And it shows this is where the Phillies were bad before Don Mattingly took over. It's really where he struggled to begin with the offense is not really helping out very much, as it didn't much last night, and it's not really getting going right now. Alec Boehm is out for the second night in a row, as Don Mattingly calls a reset night. We're resetting him. He's supposed to be in the lineup tomorrow, but 2 nights in a row last night, and which wouldn't have done him any good anyway. And then tonight as well against the Rockies. The Phillies have made strides. Another well-placed hit. This Jesus is having a real tough go at. Another run scored. It looks like 2 other runs scored. It was a bases clearing double, it looks like. So, or triple, should I say. Just the way careened, it really didn't help the Phillies on that one. 5-0 Colorado over the Phillies in the top of the 4th. Now there's plenty of baseball to go. But the offense is kind of getting that cold feeling again. Some guys still pretty warm, but not really hitting in bunches and not scoring and not playing at that high level that we're used to seeing the Phillies play. Now they won their last few series. Today's only game 1 of this Rocky series, but it's important the way they dug themselves a hole. I mean, all intents and purposes, are 17-21. By the middle of next week, say by this time next week, I could be coming home. We could talk about a 500 baseball team, which you're like, oh, that's so exciting. But the hole they dug themselves in, and being there by May 15th, in my eyes, that's a win. But they have the opportunity against, let's call them lesser teams, with the Rockies, and then more other teams to come up, that they have an opportunity to get back to 500, get ahead, and try to compete again. But it's still early to be seen. It was this 10-game mirage, and they're getting back to their ridiculousness. We don't know. Time will tell. Is Don Mattingly know what buttons to push with this team? So far, the shakeup has been a success to date. Not much to talk about. Rob, how are you doing this evening? Glad to have you on. Glad to be talking to you. I will be opening the phone lines tonight, for those who are wondering, because I know up another score, 6-0. I think they're going to have to pull Luzardo. He cannot even get an out recorded at this point. Colorado is doing kind of what was happened to Andrew Painter last night. Not a good look. I mean, the pitching has been just on fire since Malley took over. The last couple nights, that is not the case. And he's at 89 pitches, so this has to be his last inning, and he just has no control right now. He is just hurling the ball, and when he does throw it, it's a frozen rope right down the middle. So I think somebody needs to get stirring and get him out of here. I hate to see us go to another quick game again and tax the bullpen, because there is a lot of injuries in the bullpen right now. Kyle Backus is on the 15-day DL for left elbow inflammation. Zach Pop, 15-day DL for right calf strain. And Max Lazar is on the 60-day IL with a left oblique strain and has begun a rehab assignment with single-A Jersey Shore. Johan Rojas is back, but I don't know if they're going to do back-to-back games with him just yet, but Jesus is just he can't hit a mark. He can't hit a mark. They got to get him out of there. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about both the the Flyers and the Sixers, both in the deficit right now. The Flyers are going on. I'm going to check in on that a little bit too as we go along. I'll pull that up on my fourth screen here. Can no OG and the addition of Embiid help the Sixers scrape out a win and keep it 2-1 while they're back in Philly? We'll find out all about that one. The Sixers really need to kind of they really are hurting out with McCain. The McCain trade really, I think it was burning them. I don't know. I still don't understand why they did that, but they did. Oh, it's on Prime. I'm wondering where the game was. Like, why can't I find the game? And there it is, because Prime. Still getting used to things being on Prime. Put that right here. The Sixers are up 31-29 in the second, early in the second quarter. For those who are paying attention, but you need a more solid game from the Sixers. They have to kind of stifle the Knicks a little bit more. The Knicks have just kind of been having their way with them, and the Sixers, it looks like they haven't been able to do much. And Don Mattingly has made his way to the top of the and he's making his way out. I mean, they weren't going to get another pitch on another batter. Jesus is getting pulled. He can't even get through more than 3 full innings, letting up 6 runs already. They're calling to the bullpen. So we'll keep you an eye on what's going on there. But like I said, the Sixers are up 33-29. And the Flyers have also dug themselves into a hole of sorts because they are down 0-3 to the Hurricanes. That's right. They're down 0-3 to the Hurricanes. Listen, Hurricanes are a good team. I'm not here to make excuses, but Hurricanes are a good team, and I kind of really had them picked to go to the Stanley Cup before the Sixers were even a remote chance to go to the playoffs. And even if they were, I still wouldn't feel comfortable saying, "Oh well, definitely." The Flyers. I mean, the Flyers are young, and I really don't like saying this term, like playing with house money, but kind of is. Like, we didn't really expect this much of the Flyers. It's nice to see them win around. Nice to see these young guys get a taste of the playoffs. Coots get into the playoffs because he's tired of not getting to the playoffs. Trevor Zegras is just the only one who scored a goal in the last 4-1 loss. So he's been a really blessing in disguise. I don't think anybody really saw that one coming when they signed him, how much of a big improvement he would be. But so far, he has been that improvement. But my question to you guys tonight is a couple different things. Do you feel it's a victory for the Flyers, I should say, in the sense of I know the whole point is to win the whole enchilada. Like, don't get me wrong, and I'm not getting soft or homery or anything on you. I know certain people listen and they say those words that really can hurt sometimes. I'm just kidding. But do you consider this a win for this year, the 2025-2026 Philadelphia Flyers? Do you feel this is a win? Do you feel that this team has exceeded expectations and it's everything that you would want, you could imagine for this team and more? Like, do you feel that you're happy with how far they got this year, considering where they were at when they were 3.8% chance of getting to the playoffs? Same thing said with the Sixers. I mean, a lot of us, including myself, wrote them off. I really didn't see them winning the first round. I called a gentleman's sweep against the Celtics. Was the Celtics more banged up, or were the Celtics more, did they play down, whatever it is, or do you think the Sixers were able to play up against them, but they're just not a good matchup against the Knicks, and you're happy with them just beating the Celtics? Not happy, but they exceeded your expectations. And the Phillies, same thing with the Phillies. Are the Phillies, I want to say exceeding your expectations, but are they bringing you back in? Are you believing in this team again? I know last two nights aren't the best one. More the starting pitching. Last two nights have been really difficult. I mean, I know it's only the top of the fourth, but I would like to see a little bit more offense from this team. But did you have this team kind of dead to rights? Has the Phillies sucked you back in? Do you think the Phillies are a playoff team still? A lot of those answers. Like I feel the fact that I said the best chance they have if they can get their S together was June 1st, if they could get to 500. If they can win this series against the Rockies and win the next series, you might be just sitting around 500 at that point, or closer. But by this time Friday, you could be playing to be 500. And in our division, that's not a bad thing, except for the Braves, who are just running away with it. Somehow we are still in top two or three. We're in third place right now, I think, with our loss yesterday. We were second place going into the game. But, it's, are you content with how far the Flyers went? Did the Sixers exceed your expectations, or are they just doing what they've always done for you? And the Phillies, are you so far happy with Don Mattingly, and are you surprised that they're even this close to 500, knowing the hole that they kind of dug themselves into was pretty deep? I mean, it was a really deep hole. Like, we always say you can't win the division in April, but you can sure as hell lose it. And it really felt like that. Like that term was coming true. Rob, you're saying it's a good season for the Flyers. I think it's a successful growth season. I think that's a good way of putting it. It's a successful growth season. The Phillies need to go. Phillies need to go where? Or you need to just you're off. Are you off the Phillies? Is the best way of putting it. Like, are you just done with them for the season? Like, you have zero expectations for the Phillies? But I mean, that's my is that what you're trying to tell me? I don't know. You let me know, Fred. You can add that in. But like I said, right now the Flyers are on a 3-0 deficit against a very talented, very well coached Rod Brindamore team. The power play, the penalty kill is killing them. Was it 9 penalties last night? And an ineffective power play really was just kind of the death note nail for them. Yeah, I mean, the offense needs to get going. They when you were down in this hole, you need to stay a little bit warmer than they can't keep going hot and cold like they have. And they can't get cocky either. Like, I wonder, the Rockies aren't a good team. They haven't. You typically aren't. I mean, probably one of the few teams, at this point that the Phillies could be in front of. And Bryce Harper hits a well-placed single in the center field. That's one of the good shining lights. I think Bryce Harper's been really consistent with his hitting. His strikeout to walk ratio has really start to even out, which is great for him because he can get through some strikeouts, unlike Kyle Schwarber. But leadoff man on. This is what they need to do now. They need to tie some together. Can Garcia come up and push him over? That's going to be the question. We'll keep an eye on that. But they need to support this team and not look at a 6-hole deficit as a death wish, especially in the 4th inning. I'm not saying you have to get all 6 back in one fell swoop, but if you could chip off 2 or 3 runs in this inning, this is a whole new ballgame. You should put stress on the Colorado Rockies. And right now, and Dolander, the starting pitcher for the Rockies, only has 43 pitches. You've been giving him way too many easy outs. You need to at least tax him and get that up to 63 pitches before the end of this inning. Ugh, that wasn't a bunt. Or that was a, I don't know, whatever. Um, you can't make this easy for him. No easy double plays. Yeah, he swung. Or no 1, 2, 3 pitches in and out. But that's my thing is you can't. This guy can go 7, 8 innings if you continue this. Like you have to put some tax on him. The only one to put any tax on him right now. Um, you're doing fine, Rob. Don't worry about it. It was Emmanuel Sosa, and he hit a 97-mile-per-hour fastball, 97 mile per hour back at his face. Gave that pitcher a little taste of a little sweet chin music. So if he ever decides to throw in somebody, maybe he'll think twice. And like I said, you can't hit into a double play, which Garcia just did. Um, I really think if this Phillies team wants to not wait to the what's it called, All-Star break or the trade deadline to make any moves. I mean, a right-handed third baseman, any right-handed third baseman, um, would do better right now for us, in my eyes. The Braves don't have two of their starting pitchers out and just lost Albies or Cunha. For the Phillies are still like they're 8 and 10 games out. So my confidence hasn't been with the Phillies. But I'm not asking you that, Mike. That's a different story. Maybe it's baseball God shining upon the Phillies with the Braves having a couple guys out and losing a key player. This is the time to strike. The Braves have been pretty consistently in their winning, have been doing a damn good job. Maybe they can rack up a couple losses. Put it this way: you win this series, you win the next series, so you take 2 or 3 each game. You're barking back at 500, and if the Braves can, go say in the next 10, 5-5 or less, that helps the Phillies. I'm not sitting there telling you should have faith that this Phillies is a World Series team. They're just kind of back to where we expected them to be, Mike. And I don't know if you're just joining me. I did say I'm going to open the lines, which I will do right about now. Let me do that. All conversations are open. You want to talk Flyers? Like my question tonight is: are you content with the Flyers for as far as they got? Did the Sixers hit your expectations, or is this the same old with them? And are the Phillies kind of pulling you back in? I'm not saying making you true believers like Mike's asking me. I'm saying have the Sixers or the Phillies had you buying back in that maybe they're at least a playoff contention team when it did not look like that just a few weeks ago. Phillies with all their talent only won the division in the last 2 years. The Brave Stars were injured. I understand. And Mike, I get where you're going with this. I'm not sitting here telling you they're better than the Braves. Those words aren't coming out of my mouth right now. I'm asking you, is that, with the way the Phillies have been able to turn around without Rob, you got part of what you want, Mike. I'm surprised you're not jumping on here to moonwalk your way through a happy dance right now. You got rid of Rob, you got Don Mattingly in here. Team so far in a small sample size has responded to him. The question is, can they keep responding to adversity? Can they try not to trip up 2 games in a row? Because unfortunately, 2 games in a row for them is real difficult at this point. They really need to get above 500 and start putting some space between them and the lesser of teams. Is my question. I know you keep comparing them to the Braves, and you can compare them all you want to the Braves and the Dodgers and all the other good teams. My question is: are the Phillies sucking you back into believing that they could make it to the playoffs and are not as bad as we originally thought about 3-4 weeks ago? Like, that's kind of what I want to know from people tonight. So like I said, the phone lines are open. If you go into the chats for the YouTube and Facebook page here, there's a StreamYard link. It's real easy. You click on the StreamYard link, and then you can come in with just audio. You can come in audio, video, whatever it is you want to do, and then we can talk. You can ask me questions. I'll ask you questions. We're talking about the Sixers. We're talking about the Flyers. We're talking about the Phillies. We're going to even talk a little bit about the Eagles. I mean, right now it's not much to talk about with the Eagles. They picked up their fifth-year options with Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, as we know. UDFA signings include standout linebacker, Alabama linebacker Dante Lawson. They also signed linebacker Isaiah King. But we're going to talk about their schedule that should be released on May 14th. Yeah, will be officially released on May 14th, this upcoming Thursday. They announced, I think they already announced the international games, right? But they have tough sledding in front of them. They're going to see the Seahawks. They're going to see the Texans. They have, with their first place win list or in the division, it's going to give them a tough schedule. But other than that, there's not a lot going on. Are you happy with the draft? If you want to talk about that, are you happy with the Jonathan Grenard signing or trade? And are you happy with Mekhi Lemon getting number 9, first player to have it since MVP superstar Nick Foles, Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles? Are you happy with that so far? For those who are watching along right now, the Colorado Rockies are up 6-0 on the Phillies, the top of the 5th. Jesus Luzardo just did not have it tonight and really kind of fell apart quickly. Couldn't get through the 4th inning at all. Didn't get one out in the 4th inning. They had to make a quick change to Bolin. The Sixers are down 41-38 with about 6.5 minutes left in the first half. They just out hustle them. Sixers can't keep up with the Knicks. Like really, they can't. They move the ball around a little bit more fluidly for the most part. But questions are, and the lines are open. Feel free to jump on and ask questions and talk with me for a little bit. I'm going to bring you all the way up to the end of this game. Might have started a little early, so I'll talk a lot tonight. Also, I'm going to try to pull a fun video that just made me laugh. Just made me laugh. I was thinking about possibly saving it to the Fightins, what's it called? The Fightins final. Because it was just comical. And it's one of those things that, I don't know if they knew what they were doing when they did it. They made our days, and it could be in any better organization team. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've seen on Twitter or any of the other social media. But I think I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it to right up into the Fightins final because it's a knee slapper. But it's worth it. It's worth it. It's real funny. The Sixers aren't going anywhere. According to Rob, if the Flyers lose a series, it's a good learning experience. It's just so funny how it is, right? Both get to the second round. Both can't really do much with the second round. And they, how different of an experience it really is. Looks like we do have somebody in this. Might be my boy Mikey P. Mike, is that you, bud?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on, brother?
Oh. Can we start off by saying my views are my views only? We'll just leave it like that.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm on a network with Matty B, so I don't think I can say anything like that ever in my life. Like if you want to say that, go right ahead. But I don't think it's necessary. Not on this
network. Now I'm watching the Sixers right now because the Phillies are getting bombed, but Sixers are up by I think 8-6 somewhere there.
Oh, am I behind maybe?
It's 44-38 or something. Yeah, it's 6 points.
I 44-40. Knicks are up.
Okay. You're a few seconds ahead of me because I have a site that I pay for a whole year and I can watch anything. I can watch, and I like some people if I talk to my other buddy like out in Virginia, they're like a couple seconds ahead of me. I have to tell them, don't tell me what's going on during the Eagles season.
Shut your mouth.
He'll be yelling touchdown, and I ain't on my TV yet.
Well, that's funny because I have YouTube TV, and if like I don't have regular cable in my house, and I love it. I mean, it's a great thing, because I can watch on anything. I can watch it on all my computers. I can watch it on all my iPads, phones, all my TVs, all my Fire Sticks, all that stuff. So, as many screens as I can get, I can watch. Right. But it's funny, like if one just always can be sometimes a few seconds off from the other one. So like maybe upstairs is cheering a second or opposite before I am. So it's a little annoying sometimes. But other than that, I love being able to having to have a cable line.
Yeah, I don't have a cable line. But see, I don't know what you pay for YouTube TV. I'll tell you what I pay for all my stuff.
What do you pay?
And this is including Netflix under $30 a month.
Oh wow!
And I have Hulu. I have Hulu.
You're gonna send me that link at one point.
No. It's you got to get all the specials over at Black Friday.
Ah,
you get like I get HBO Max $2.99 a month for a year. I get Disney and Hulu, not Hulu Live, $4.99 a month. I got Stars for 12. I got Stars for $12. That's it for the whole year. For the whole year.
Yeah, I mean you're doing well with that. I mean that's still cheaper than I think what a normal Netflix. Regular Netflix is like I think it's like $20 or something. Netflix.
Yeah,
like
I have Netflix.
Yeah, I'm saying if you went out and I'm signing up for Netflix right now with no deal, you're probably paying for every other one for the same price as you pay for one just Netflix.
Yeah, because I got rid of all that cable years ago, and then I figured this out, and then I got this site that I was saying where I could watch any football, basketball, hockey. You get certain cable stations with it. You get all the MLB, NFL, NHL, and NBA networks, ESPNs, and I pay $124 for the whole year.
Wow, I'll check that out
for the whole. I could send you the link.
Yeah, send me the link.
You could do 6 months. You could. It's $19.99 for a month. It's like I think it's like whatever. It's like you can do a 6 month one, then you can do the year. I usually just do the year. And then I pass my email around, and it don't get affected.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
But when it's up in October, I'm going to make people pay if they want to do it. I mean, you can watch anything you want. If it's just divvy up like $30-$40 a person, whoever wants to get involved with me.
Why not? But so let's talk about it. I know you were kind of messy about the Phillies, but let's walk the sports right now. Active sports, the Flyers.
Okay.
Are you? I want to say content. I hate using that term. I know the whole point is to win the whole thing, but where expectations were going into this, are your expectations? Even though it just hasn't been a great what's it called? A great series with Carolina. Are you at least happy with what you've seen from the Flyers this season, especially towards the end and making the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
Have they beat your expectations? I guess.
Yeah, because I didn't think they would be relevant to 2029, 2030.
Okay.
And I really don't watch hockey. It's very sparingly, but what they're doing is playing with house money, nothing to lose, everything to gain, and whether they win one game, what they won one series, whether they won one game in the second or whatever, how many games are done. They're in the top 6 of free agent money. People are gonna want to come here. Yeah. Man, they got these young guys.
Do you think this makes them like a bigger appeal to other teams?
For players, or what do you mean? Yeah, for players. Yeah.
The guys who maybe like, nah, I really want to go somewhere else. So I have a better chance of winning. But do you feel like this kind of propelled them a little higher?
Yes, and there's an X factors. The coach, Rick Tocchet. He's a proven winner. He's you know what I mean. So people, they see young and they I mean, they might have to overpay for somebody, but I mean, if you overpay and you start winning, that means other guys are going to be drawn here. So it's all going to equal out in the end anyway. But I think the Flyers, I think they win tomorrow. I think they're done the game after that.
Yeah, I think
What they have to do is they have to get a goaltender. They that guy got hot. That's all he did. He got hot. He's a good goaltender, but he got hot at the right
you
time.
think it's kind of just fluky. That's what you're saying to me right now. You don't think he can learn and grow from this as much as anybody else.
How old is Villar or whatever his name was? He drafted or wasn't he signed?
Yeah, I mean he's not old.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't know much about it because I don't really watch. I just heard about the guy calling him the Dark Villar. That was just pretty cool.
He's only 28. He's 28 years old.
I mean, yeah. I mean, some guys. I always say people get life at their own time. You know what I mean? We're all different. You might get. Everybody figures it out.
You got to take opportunity sometimes. Sometimes guys are in front of you, or you're being held up. I mean, I think he earned at least another starting position next year. I'm not saying sit on your laurels. You don't need a goalie, but I'm also saying that you can. He had 4 seasons with the Flames. He's on signed a 2-year deal. I think it's about $3 million a year, give or take. I know in hockey it's a little higher than maybe playing baseball or football or something. But I mean, like you said, you got a couple of years. I mean, he's a big boy, 6'6". I think he's at least earned the starting position for next year. Can it go 2 years in a row? I mean, that would be a huge coup for the Flyers. Like if they don't have to go out and look for another goalie, like as a mainstay piece. But right now, like you say, if they win Game 4, they will go on to that's tomorrow. So Monday, I think, is the next one, May 11th. And then May 13th and May 16th, if they somehow stretch this out to a 7-game series, which I highly doubt, but that would be the remaining games. Now, let me ask you this question. Same kind of question, different team. The Sixers. Did the Sixers, because I had them no chance even making the playoffs, let alone somehow beating the Celtics in 7. Are they above expectations? Are they just doing what you're expecting them to do? Like, where are you at on your feelings with the Sixers being now down 2-0 to the Knicks, and it looks like trailing them pretty much at the end of the half?
I guess I would say above expectations because they beat Boston. I mean, that's the only I mean, otherwise it's just the same team. I mean, do I have expectations? Not as long as Joel ain't healthy. If Joel didn't sit out the other night, it might be tied. Who knows? We don't know. I mean, he's got to get healthy, and they got to. This is a good young team. They got some good young players that want to play, and they're hungry on the Sixers. And the Knicks,
older guys, like, do they hold them back? Do you think Embiid holds them back, or do you think healthy Embiid it just adds to this team?
Oh, ads. I mean, him. I mean, I like Bona coming in. I like Bona's. I mean, I see his energy when he comes, and even Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond he's basically a dinosaur. I mean, he can shoot a 3, but you know what I'm saying. He's not that guy.
Everybody wanted Drummond back because he had some success early on here. But I'm like, that he wasn't young then, and then this was years ago, and now you want to bring him back. Listen, not against Drummond, he has his moments, but they need a steady big that can fill in. Like, they need another guy would be considered a first somewhere else.
Yes,
first, because you can't rely on Joel Embiid being healthy. I mean, look at appendectomy. And you're part of the playoffs.
Yes, his bad luck. Yes, I'm with you on that one. Who is the Al Horford? Okay, it's like when Boston had Al Horford and they had the other center that was pretty decent. We're like you said,
before Al Horford came here to the Sixers, I was like, the Sixers need to, when he became available, I'm like, the Sixers need to sign him because they can't beat him. And I really thought for an idea, bring him to be the Robin to Embiid's Batman for when he can't play or gets injured. But when he came here, he just completely blew. They never used him correctly. I think where'd he go? He went somewhere after there, like Oklahoma or something. Then he returns to Boston at like 107 years old and plays like a champ.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Danny Ainge got another one on us on that one. But
Sixers are losing by 12 now.
yeah, yeah. It's this like I said, like this Knicks team, and I hate all these New York people here. I think where Tracy Morgan's in the crowd. I think I just saw him and going to commercial. I mean,
Spike Lee.
Listen, man. They say a lot about Phillies or Philadelphia fans, and listen, a lot of it's true. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to see her acting all high and mighty, but a lot of it is, I think Knicks fans are the more pompous, arrogant. You're scumbags, and we lean into our scumbaggery, but they're scumbags who think they're elitist.
Scumbagery.
Yeah, scumbaggery. We know it. We lean into it. Sure, fine. Yeah, we're scumbags. I always say we're scumbags with a heart of gold. Like that's kind of been always been my motto. But those guys are people who they're scumbags who think they're elitist. Like they just this New York swagger just because your city's the background in every other movie. Like get lost, bro. Like I really don't care about that. But how about the Eagles? I haven't talked to you much since. Are you happy with the draft? Are you happy Mekhi Lemon wearing number 9?
I don't.
Do you not get into the whole the numbers thing?
No. He ain't wearing Dawkins. They're not wearing Reggie. Just some numbers.
So but only they're officially retired. Do you agree with it?
No. Nick Foles.
You believe there's certain people you shouldn't touch.
There's certain people you shouldn't touch, but
like,
Nick Foles.
For instance, if I went to go play for the Eagles right now, and I said I'm going to wear number 62, would that be acceptable?
No. Nick Foles. He's only had. He had one good year.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
And then he can play with
half a year. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, the one good year was under Chip Kelly, and then. The 27-0 and no interception.
Well, I'm saying when he returned.
He only had that one hit. That's all he had. Yeah, that's all he had after that. So I don't have a problem wearing that number. Didn't Jim McMahon wear that number too when he was here? I think he wore number 9.
My question is, when is it wrong? Is it only when the number's officially retired, or is there certain people even before they're retired you don't touch? Like I asked, like Jason Kelsey, he's not retired. A retired number.
Yeah, you don't touch
retired player. Can I wear number 62 if I went to play for the Eagles right now?
No, look, you don't wear Kelsey's. You don't wear Brian Dawkins. You wear Reggie White. You don't wear. There's like I said, you got to go down the line and figure out who. Even if they're playing, they ain't in the Hall of Fame. I mean, I look. I'm a huge Andre Waters and Wes Hopkins, but I mean, Waters is officially retired now because of
so many numbers. Because at one point you're going to run out of numbers.
Yeah. Now now the pick. I don't mind the pick with Howie taking him. Now, does that mean that is it a guarantee that AJ Brown's traded? I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean,
Lemon was meaning okay. We're going to trade AJ now. I think that the AJ Brown conversation is AJ Brown wants to leave. I think the grass is greener in AJ Brown's eyes. He wants to go to another quarterback where he can pat stats. Or stat pats, I should say.
No, I get what you're saying, but people are saying that deal's done. How did we know that?
I wouldn't put it past them. But
if it's not done, and say they had to keep Brown, think of that. They keep Brown. That kid's your slot guy, and how much havoc can he cause on the defense? Because who can stick him if he's in the slot?
Listen, if you keep AJ Brown, that's only a plus. I mean, you still got AJ Smitty, you got Mekhi, you got Devontae Witt.
Yeah, but
you got
the X factor.
Brown,
but there's an X factor.
What's that?
The quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Can he run a true West Coast offense? That's what I heard Sean Mannion wants to run.
Well, that's the point. Is he is running what you've seen Sean McVay, and you've seen Green Bay Packers, because that's where he came from. They have a very stacked wide receiver room, but they move the ball around, and maybe that's not what. Again, AJ Brown wanting to be more of the AJ Brown show, is that keeping him from doing that? Is that one of the reasons he wants to go? Maybe.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you got. Yeah. But we got to depend on Jalen 3-step dropping it and get.
Everything
You know what I'm
depends on
saying?
the quarterback. I'm
But the
asking
problem,
you.
but here's the yeah. Hmm?
If he's not the factor, do you think that's one of the reasons he wants to go? And I don't want to. I want to be at a place where I'm the number one guy, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the the large
We
amount
know
of
Brown wants that. Yes.
what he does. And honestly, I'm not being I don't know. So, like I try not to hate on AJ Brown because I really do like AJ Brown, and I really think there's a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of personality with
Yeah.
him. I think he is very much about himself, but he's not a terrible teammate either.
Well,
He's not To. He's not one of those cancer in the locker rooms like Antonio Brown type guys.
yeah. But where's Donovan? Where's Jalen fall into that? Because he don't read progressions very fast. We heard he don't like. He plays differently in the game than in practice.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't what he does in practice. So I mean, you factor that in.
This is kind of, I want to say, a make or break year for Jalen, but it is a.
They drafted the quarterback.
Well, I'm not worried about that. But he's under a microscope. Like if he can't do something, if he just kind of squandered, like he has some built-in excuses this year. A lot of drops, bad offensive play calling, bad offensive line play, or not healthy offensive line. He had some built-in excuses this season. So if the O line's healthier and the play calling is much improved, but again, like I make the same comments. Like when we did have a good offensive coordinator and a healthy O line, Jalen Hurts flourished. Am I wrong? I mean, did he not flourish in 22? Did he not flourish in 24? Well, and for a good portion of 23, I mean, he flourished when things were good for him.
No, but he flourished under offensive coordinators that didn't have a connection to Sirianni. So he might flourish this year. The only thing I worry about is, can he run the West Coast offense? That's what it comes down to. Well, he's an RPO guy. You're taking an RPO guy and trying to get him to do 3-step drops and all that other stuff.
I want to see him play under center more because that's been apparently the news going around. He just can't do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to, or he can't, or he doesn't work well for him, or whatever the reason behind it is. Listen, I'm not saying AJ or Jalen doesn't need some scrutiny, but it's going to take. I can't sit here and tell you that. I know a lot of people want to bang on him, especially some guys on this network who started the network. But I really think he gets kind of the shit under the stick a little bit. Not that he doesn't deserve it sometimes, but he's not as bad as people put him out to be. Like, come on, man. Like, it's not fluky. I mean, the guy, when he plays at his top, he really can carry a team, and we've seen it.
Yes, but, he can.
Any parting words before I let you go? Because I do have somebody else on the other line here. Looks like Joe is waiting here.
Oh, Joe Hale.
Yep.
Oh, shout out to Ricky Deal. He's doing better.
That's
and
good to
Joe
hear.
Hale is the man.
So, any last parting words?
Yeah. The bumbling buffoon was fired, made my day. They finally figured it out 4 years later.
Just singing and dancing about that one.
Oh, I did. But now I got to deal with Mattingly, but that's a whole different thing. So we'll just.
You don't like the Don coaching?
Okay, how do you put this? I'm not. He's. I just don't. A part of it, because when you're the bench coach, you're going to always take on some of the manager that left.
Mm-hmm.
And what you would think, he would switch up. The offense ain't going nowhere. But can't touch the top three because must be in their contracts. Turner, Schwarber, Harper.
No,
they can't. They can't.
Listen, I think also we run into the problem is Don Brosky caused more of these problems than anybody, right? Let's just call it for what it's worth.
I know, but we have control of the lineup. The lineup.
He's not going to turn the lineup on its head except for maybe moving what's his face? Kyle. Wow, what a blast. A second decker right here. According to the guy you're just talking about, Kyle Schwarber. Let's see,
Yep.
415 feet, 109.2 mile per hour exit velo.
Yep.
I mean, that was a blast and a half.
He won't move. Listen, them guys will never move. When Turner went out, Schwarber went to lead off the other couple of games ago.
Yeah.
Don should have came in and walked right up and said, Crawford, you lead off, Turner, you're second, Harper third, Schwarber fourth. You don't like it, boys? You're on the contract.
I get what you're saying.
It would have hurt them. They were on a losing streak.
I don't think Crawford's ready for that. I just don't. You got to give the guy a chance. I don't know if it will hurt or help us with Crawford in that position.
He's built for that. It's all he's been doing his whole career is leading off. He's built for it.
Yeah.
He's a hitting machine, but that's unacceptable in baseball. That's the problem.
He's not a hitting machine just yet. We haven't. He's doing well. He's batting like a 265 right now. He's doing well. He still has a lot to learn.
He's batting higher than Schwarber. He's batting higher than Turner. I'm assuming Garcia, Bomb.
We know that the Schwarber batting average is kind of a weird anomaly. He's one of the few people who can have a 212 batting average, but have 100 RBIs and 52 home runs. Like he's an anomaly. Like it's a lot different conversation. Not saying I don't want to see him in the 4-hole. Trust me, I'm not disagreeing with that. But whatever reason, I did not expect to come here and turn this completely on its head right away. But Mike, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for joining me. I'll be here.
Hey, you have a good night.
I'll be here after the Phillies game, and then we'll talk more. All right, brother?
Yeah, I'll send you that link for that site I was telling you about for sports.
Perfect. Talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
And without ado, we're going to move on to Joe Hale.
How is everybody out there on Facebook and YouTube land? That's what I'm going to begin.
I'm hoping everybody's doing good. I mean, listen, right now the Sixers are down, the Phillies are down 6-1. After a gigantic, I don't know if you're watching it, but just an absolute bomb to the second deck for Schwarber. But Harper got on. There's still no outs. About 80 pitches for Dolander right now. Bottom of the 6th, so hopefully they can start to tack on. I mean, it's a little. I wish they would have tacked on a couple more, but right now he can't hit a strike zone, so they probably won't keep him on much longer, especially if Garcia gets on. That is Kyle. By the way, that's Kyle Schwarber's 200th Schwarbomb as a Philly right now. So for those that know, 200 Schwarber bombs, and in about over 4 years. So
you talked about the Sixers. The Sixers just cut in the league.
Mm-hmm. What was that?
8, and that was a ball, but he won't challenge it. Garcia.
Okay.
The Sixers were up by 5. They were down by 10. They cut the lead to 8 to go in at half.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, I'll ask you the same questions I've been asking all night, Joe, and I'll let you answer. Let's start with the Flyers. Are you just happy with how far they got and they got some playoff experience? Are you happy with or do you feel like they kind of let you down against the Hurricane the way they're down to 0-3 now? Hurricane just seemed to be playing a lot better hockey than them. I mean, listen, they're a better hockey team. Let's just call it for what it's worth right now. And the Hurricane also have a MO where they tend to flop in one of the series. Like they've always been in the playoffs and the talk, but they always seem not to get to the dance at all in the Stanley Cup Finals. So I was kind of maybe a little bit more wishful thinking to see this team could maybe fall then against the Flyers and kind of look past them, but obviously they're not. Rob Brindamore has not allowed them to do that. Do you feel are you happy with what the Flyers have done?
Yes.
So far?
Expectations for this year.
In what ways?
Because everybody picked them last in a division, last overall. Everybody predicted them to get the number 1 pick, and they made the playoffs. But
I mean, they were what? They had a 3.8% chance of winning the playoffs or getting to the playoffs, and obviously they bucked the trend. Wow, Marsh just dug that out. Did they call him out or safer out? I'm trying to see because it looked like he just dug that out like a split second.
Safe.
No, they called him out.
They said there's a no.
Oh, did they get Harper out?
Got Harper out a second.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I just saw 2 outs.
Back to the Flyers.
Back to the Flyers.
They exceeded expectations. I still think they're going to win 1 game at home.
You think they'll win tomorrow? Tomorrow.
The injury to Tippett hurt the Flyers in a major way.
Not disagreeing.
And I don't think Vlad is 100% either. Because if you look at his glove hand, and that's where Carolina scores the most of the goals, he keeps taking it off, squirting water on it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Did JT just hit one? Off the wall. There we go. Brandon Marsh looks like he's going to score. JT's stand-up double. All right, 6-2 ball game, 2 outs. They can get another one, cut this lead in half, maybe have a game again. We'll see. But Star Wars thinks the Phillies don't look good. Rob needs to go, or Dombrowski needs to go, according to Rob. But listen, I think what really caught up with the Flyers, to be honest with you, is the penalty or the special teams. The PK, 9 penalties last game, not being able to score on any of their power plays.
They had a 5-on-4 power play.
It's not acceptable. Like, that's going to catch up with you as you get against better teams. Looks like Colorado's going to the bullpen right now.
Flyers won the draft lottery. I'm going to tell you why. They get a number 1. It's not protected. It goes to them next year from Toronto.
Toronto won 2027. Yeah.
And I still think what Matty B said, that the Flyers can trade that pick to Toronto to try to get Austin Matthews, a top center.
I believe that Matty B's not off the beaten path, which is really a difficult thing for me to say. But I think the Flyers will try to make some splash plays, and maybe they will trade that pick to a team like Toronto who needs to build up again and try to kind of speed things along with the success that they have now to not just get to the playoffs next year, but become more dangerous in the playoffs.
Yes, get to the Eastern Conference semifinals, which they did this year.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't want to see this team go 1 and then not go for another 3 years in the playoffs. That'll be a loss.
They have to go back to back. They have to go to the playoffs.
Amy's chiming in. All these Knicks fans here is a decrease. I guess she's saying disgrace. And the Sixers players are making it worse. So sad. Yeah, I mean, you can't stop them from doing it. And the Knicks, listen, it's on us to go up there and take over their stadium. And it's on us to buy more tickets. And you know what? We're like a deal to them. We're 2 hours down the road, and the cost of tickets are probably half the price. Spike Lee could probably buy a whole row for what he pays for 1 ticket up in New York.
You asked Kaepernick if the Sixers would be better without Embiid. I think they would be.
Why is that?
Because you got Maxey and VJ.
They're 2 different types of players, though.
Yes,
you still need a big.
I like the Drummond, but he's not an everyday guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Bona better than Drummond, but I don't like your president. I think who's on the board? Bob. What is his name from the Golden State GM? I think he's going to be the next president.
You think he's going to take over for Morey?
Yes. And
maybe.
I think if the Sixers don't get past this round, goodbye Nick Nurse, hello Steve Kerr.
You think if they lose to the Knicks, which, let's be honest, smells like what's going to happen overall, I don't know if they're going to have the same gumption to come back and be able to beat the Knicks if they lose tonight, especially like they did to Boston. I don't think you're gonna be able to do that two series in a row. They just outsized Boston a lot.
Boston
We're
was.
not, according to Amy, we're not going to have nothing to root for until the Eagles start all summer long. I guess Amy's completely out on the Phillies at this point.
I would too.
So I would ask, what is going to be my next question? Even though it's a small sample size with Don Mattingly, except for the last two games, have the Phillies ignited your love for the team and baseball a little bit more? Gave you hope? I mean, because I said all intents and purposes, they could be 500 this time next week. And knowing the hole that they dug themselves in, that's actually like 2 weeks earlier than I even came close to expecting it.
Fire Dabrowski and I'll be all right.
Well, I'm talking about this year. I mean, they're not going to fire him in the middle of the year. I just don't see that happening. Unless he makes some crazy move. Stott just popped out, yeah.
I'm actually meeting a former Philly tomorrow.
Who's that?
Larry Anderson.
Where's that at?
It's in Jersey. It's called Royals Cards in New Jersey.
Okay, cool. I know LA pretty. I've had the nice opportunity of interviewing a handful of times.
He's
I've sat and ate lunch with him a few times when working in the press box. Very nice guy. He'll talk to you. He'll talk baseball with you. Great human being, by the way. Great human being.
I want to ask him about what he thinks of the umpires this year. I think
the robo ump or umpires in general.
Umpires in general.
Why is that? Why do you want to ask him that?
Because he always talks about the umpires on.
Oh well, he always does. I mean, I'm guessing he likes the robe or the ABS system. I mean, it's the best of both worlds.
Him, Fransky or Scott Fransky are going to be together in Jersey.
Oh, Scott's a great guy too, by the way. I've interviewed Scott Fransky probably like a dozen times. Like, great guy, one of the nicest human beings.
He lives in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
A lot of those guys do. A lot of them have homes in New Jersey. A lot of the players have homes in New Jersey. Logan Township's a big area for them, especially the guys on shorter contracts. I'll tell you, so I have a friend who has a nice big house out in Sweetsboro, right? And his neighbor across the street used to throw these big old poker tournaments in his living room, and it'd be like 10 tables of like 1,000. Like there'd be like 100 people in there. Like there was a lot of people.
Robert.
Huh?
Robert said, "Good evening, Joe."
Oh, good evening. Yes. And one day I'm playing a poker tournament, and I'm kicking ass, dude. I'm making it to the 10th table or the final table, and he's sitting next to me, former Flyer Cody Ashe, sitting there, or I mean Aaron Asher, not Cody Ashe. Cody Ashe at the field. Aaron Asher.
Rick Tockett lives in Deptford Township.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Jersey's a big area for them because it's right over the bridge. They have some big houses out there. You know, they're not mansions, but they're affordable, nice big houses and nice areas. So very, very very big area for the players and coaches. You know, especially. Amy, I'll let you help me answer this question, Joe. Amy wants to know: do you think the Eagles go back to the Super Bowl this year?
I'm wearing this shirt when they won it, and yes. And I love the Lemon pick, Mikael Lemon.
Mikael Lemon?
Yes, he's going to be a huge. If they keep, well, I'm going to tell you, I don't think AJ Brown's going to the Patriots. I think Vrabel's looks like he might be getting fired now.
Getting fired or stepping down?
Yeah, from the scandal.
Let me ask you this question. Does that change AJ Brown's willingness to want to go to the Patriots?
I don't think he goes to New England.
You think it was mainly solely because of Mike Vrabel?
Yes.
I mean, I've heard he's a big Patriots fan. They still have a really good team. Vrabel's they still have Drake May. I don't know if that changes his mind. I mean, it's a good point though.
Vrabel's the one that drafted him.
I know Vrabel's the one who drafted him, but that doesn't mean much. He wants a guy who's going to throw to him a lot. He wants a high-flying, heavy-throwing offensive team that's going to throw to him. And Drake May could do that if they have better linemen, hopefully, for their sake, not for my sake.
About Kaepernick, about retired jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Kelsey's the next jersey to get retired.
I have a weird feeling on retiring jerseys. I feel retiring jerseys should be for guys who've passed away.
Okay.
Because at one point you're going to run out of numbers. Like there's only so many numbers you can, and then if you just start willy nilly retiring jerseys, then you're not going to be able to retire jerseys for people who maybe you want to retire down the line. I don't think Jason Kelsey should have a retired jersey, and I love Jason Kelsey. I got a signed Jason Kelsey jersey. I got a signed Jason Kelsey football card. I got a signed Jason Kelsey helmet. I'm a huge Jason Kelsey fan. But at the same time, I don't think his jerseys should be retired. I mean, what point do we stop retiring these jerseys? It should be like a really hey, God forbid, if like Nick
like
Foles
Brown
or Dre, yes, or Jason Kelsey passed away or something like that. I think that's when you retire the jerseys. And even then, depending on the situation and circumstances. My point is, did they just hit another home run? God damn it! This game's kind of getting away from them now.
Yeah,
it was not that it wasn't already pretty much away from them, but that doesn't help. 2-out solo homer. Mesa just gave up. Freeman just hit that one, so that doesn't help. And for those who are joining me, I will be going into the Titans final once this game goes to an end. I did put the and I'll put it back in here too. Case for anybody. Oh, wrong one. Hold on 1 second.
You're good.
If anybody after Joe and I are done having a conversation, you want to join the conversation, you can click on this link. You don't have to have video. You can do just the audio. Just turn the video part off. They got out of the seventh, but unfortunately not unscathed. They really need to have a good seventh inning here to make it worthwhile for them to even come back to it. We can't stop the Villanova 3. Yeah, right? I call them the Nova Knicks. The Nova Knicks.
Wow, 66-57 now.
Yeah, it's not much better.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the Knicks teams are just out hustling them. It's just not. It's not pretty.
I 100% guarantee.
And to answer Amy's original question before we got off the beaten path, Aim, what I'll say to you is, do I think the Eagles can go to the Super Bowl? Yes. Is there a lot of ifs that they have to answer? Because, I mean, not that they haven't done it before, but you have a whole new offense, a whole new offensive coordinating coaching staff. We haven't, hopefully a more healthier offensive line, but still an aging offensive line. The A.J. Brown situation. I mean, listen, we can get 2, 3, 4 first-round picks for A.J. Brown. Still doesn't replace A.J. Brown. We have no clue Mekhi Lemon is anywhere close to an A.J. Brown replacement, which would be a really hard thing to say, even in the first year. So there's a lot of ifs. There's a lot of ifs surrounding this team.
What would
is it possible? Yes. Do they have the pieces for it? Yes, Aim. But is there a lot of questions to be answered? Yes.
What would you take from Mekhi Lemon this year?
What would I take? What would I be acceptable?
Yes.
Be interesting. It all depends. So if somehow A.J. Brown stays here, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to expect much of him. I'm not going to expect but if it's him and Devontae Smith, it really it's going to be really hard for me to say, and I'll tell you why. Because of what we know Mannion could be doing. Because Mannion's a guy who likes to throw the ball around. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, to multiple players.
Exactly.
It's going to be a lot. And here's the thing: is despite the fact of having really bad offensive coordinating this year, really not great play calling, despite the fact of having a bad offensive line or play, and despite the fact that Jalen Hurts didn't have his greatest season, him and Devontae and AJ still got their 1,000 yards.
Yes.
So you got to take some things into consideration.
I love the Eagles' pick of the quarterback. Ready for this? A wild back.
Did you say
Goal
quarterback or quarterback?
the quarter.
Okay.
I love Andy Dalton being here. I can tell you why. He'll give Jalen Hurts and other players some tips how to be a West Coast offense. Nobody talked about that in the offseason, did they?
What's that? You kind of broke up the what? The West Coast offense?
Yes, with Andy Dalton mentoring Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
I actually like that move that they did.
I mean, listen, I if he's willing to do that, I think Jalen's the kind of guy who's like a sponge. He'll soak up any bit of information from anybody who's had success in the league before. Andy Dalton's been around for a while, so it could be kind of like a Josh McCown type situation. You know what I mean? An elder state mentor is probably close to his last stop as a player. Maybe moves on to be a coach at one point, and this is his chance to start mentoring
Maybe
while playing.
Quarterback coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
he could be. It could be really interesting to see how they play out. Ooh, Crawford dug that out. But there's a lot of ifs. Listen, there's always a lot of ifs going into any year. But we had a lot of ifs going into the Super Bowl year, right?
yes, we did.
And they answered them. They were a pretty steady Eddie team for the most part of that season. Really wasn't much of a time where we thought otherwise. But the question is going to be is if and Jalen's going to be a little bit under the microscope. I really believe so, and as he should be. I mean, I'm not sitting there saying the guy should always get a pass because he has a Super Bowl, but also you don't want to hang your hat on that. Same thing with Nick Sirianni, and even I've gotten a little tired of Nick Sirianni's kind of not antics, but when you're winning, you can get away with being a bit of a goof. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But when you're not winning, or when you're losing a key coordinator in my eye, because I really think Jeff Stalin will be the difference maker for this Eagles team. Not having Jeff Stalin could be the difference between winning and losing for this team.
How is Carl Anthony Towns just picked up his fourth foul and a third?
Well, that could be good, possibly. But Amy's saying I'm a Villanova fan, and they brought me joy back when they were back then. Now they are causing me pain. I love them now. I can't stand them. I got a little annoyed with Villanova as themselves, Amy. Kind of trying to be a Philly team, and then ever since the Knicks took on a bunch of their players from their championship team, they've been supporting the Knicks more than supporting the Sixers. And
you guys,
I think that's a no-no, Ames. I think it's a no-no.
You know who I went to high school with, right?
Say it again.
High school at Lowry.
Did you go to Kyle Lowry?
Connor Docker University.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Oh, Joe, did I lose you? Bruce Harper, how you doing, my friend? What is going on? Like I said, for those who are joining me, if you want to, I'm going to finish up with Joe here in a few moments, but I put the StreamYard link in. Amy, Bruce, Star Wars, Rob, there's an opportunity for you to click on the link.
For you.
I'll
try to get Ricky to come on.
Say again?
I'll try to get Ricky to come on. He was asking for you guys.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So, all right.
Anything else you want to say before I let you go?
Yes. I'm going to Alex Cooper concert tomorrow.
Oh, that's fun.
It's MMR Barbecue.
Oh, that's right. That is this weekend. Alice Cooper's there, huh?
Yes.
How old is Alice Cooper now?
I'm not sure.
I'm actually gonna look that up, man. I feed my Frankenstein. 78 years old.
It's him and Godsmack.
Okay. They're the two headliners.
Yes. So the tickets are free. So
Tickets are $42 if you try buying them now. That's actually not bad.
No, it's going to be a good show. Everclear's going to be there too.
Man, this is really a throwback year this year, huh?
Yes.
Pulling up the list right now. Godsmack, Alice Cooper, the Hooters.
Yeah.
Everclear. I mean, Godsmack of those four mainliners are like the new, like the youngest group. They're not that young.
So it's basically, I'll let you go, but it's basically paying tribute to Ozzy this year.
Gotcha. Because you got Des Rocks, who I don't really know that well. Cammy Kehoe, I've heard of. LYLVC, I don't know what that is, or Liveys.
It's local band.
Okay, and the Circus Hearts.
Yeah.
Okay, never heard of those guys, but that's cool. I mean, I've been to a few MMR barbecues in the past, and I enjoyed it.
It's my first year going. So.
Okay, man. Well, enjoy your time. Be safe.
I'll
talk to you soon.
I'll post pictures of Larry.
All right, yeah. Tag us in it.
I will.
All right, brother. Have a great day.
Yep.
All right, that's Joe Hale. Like I said, I left the link in there. If you guys feel free to call in, and like I said, Ames, Bruce, Rob, Star Wars, anybody, if you want to call in or message in. Like I said, I got it. Yeah, it's the bottom of the 7th right now. If we're about 2 more innings left after this, so probably another 30 minutes before the Fightins final goes off. And I got time to talk to you. I feel like I want to hear what you guys have to say. And if you want to get your voice heard this time around, instead of just typing it in, feel free. But Bruce saying, Al, I feel the Flyers and Sixers could be in big trouble if they don't win soon. Bruce, I think they're a little past big trouble at this point. Right now, for those who are watching the Sixers, it's the third quarter, about 5 minutes, a little more than 5.5 minutes left in the third. The Sixers are down 72-67, kind of chopping away a little bit at this deficit. I'm not going to tell you that, but right now the Knicks have been out hustling them for the most part. But they gotta have an answer for Brunson. I mean, they really need to. Just keep letting them. They have no OG tonight, but I think we're a little past. Could be in big trouble. I think they're in big trouble. I think the Flyers. I'm be honest with you. I don't know if they win a game. Be honest with you. I think they kind of had their hearts ripped out of them at this first last game coming back into, they're down 2-0 and they came back to Philly and they kind of just let out a big old stinker. Like, to be honest with you, like, I feel we can make it. Hey, Bruce, I love your positivity, bro. Love it. But I'm not betting the house on it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you are either. Like, I listen. Chip in a chair is a term that, if you're not a poker player, there's a term I use a lot. For those who aren't poker players, it means if you have one chip and you're in the chair still, you have an opportunity to win. You can win a few hands and build up some money and start making your way back. I've done it. But you got the Flyers, who are going against a really well-coached, well-oiled team machine of the Hurricanes. And the Knicks just are out-energizing the Sixers right now. Like, and they had an opportunity to make this a 1-1 series the other night. And they ultimately blew it. They really blew it, to be honest with you. But they have to get an answer for Brunson. Brunson just puts points up on their face. And then if he can't do it, somebody else will. And the Villanova Knicks are, chopping away at the Sixers. So I hope you're right. There's time. Like, listen, I'm a realist, Bruce. I really am. And I am a positive guy more often than I'm not. And I've gotten roasted for it from certain Matty B handful of times. But I'm more realistic in this case. Like, I really don't think that I'm not saying that I think the Sixers have a little bit more of a chance than the Flyers. They could make a little bit of a run more than I think the Flyers could be able to come back from a 3-0 deficit against a really good team in the Hurricanes, who, in my eyes, were picked to go to the Eastern Conference Final / into the Stanley Cups representing the East. Like, to be honest with you, ultimately, to be honest with you, like it's Johan Duran's coming in. Ugh, they're giving him more work. When I don't know, I'm not loving this move, but whatever. I mean, they are lacking in the bullpen right now, but here it is. You know, he had that one game against the Athletics. I guess they're just trying to get him some work. And I guess there's kind of a no pressure situation in the top of the eighth. 96-mile-per-hour sinker. So still got the gas. That hasn't been the issue. Yeah, I feel the NBA is a little messed up because players can be good one night and bad the next. That's kind of the problem with the NBA, Bruce, in all intents and purposes. That between the load management and the inconsistent play and them just not taking the 82 game regular season serious. And that's why they're talking about lessening the season, which I wonder if that lessens the contract money a little bit for the teams. Like, you know, like, do you go to the players and like, listen, you're going to take less money. You're going to take less money. Uh-oh. Oh, no, maybe I Beetlejuiced him. I don't remember saying his name 3 times, but am I lucky enough to be graced on a Friday evening right now, even though the Phillies are down 7-2 and the Sixers are trailing? The great, almighty Matty B? Is that you?
Did you say you were a realist?
I'm a realist.
About what? About the sky being blue?
About, being down 3-0-3 against the Hurricanes. The Flyers coming back in my eyes would be they had a 3.8% chance of making the playoffs. Listen, they to have that 3.8% chance of winning this series and doing that twice in one season, the Lightning would really need to strike twice, and the Hurricanes' ankles would all have to fall off at the same time, to be completely honest. Even with the Sixers, the Sixers I think have a slightly more higher chance, but not much more.
Yeah, no, I just, maybe I was just thrown back by that. I was, tinkering around here doing what I do, and I heard you
just had it. You heard me say that, like, I gotta call in. I gotta come in and break some stones. I get you.
No, I appreciate you giving the people a little dose of the reality that is needed in this situation. I will, especially with listen, I'm not going to sit here to speak about the Sixers in any sort of confident manner, because I couldn't tell you what's going on with the Sixers if I tried, but I certainly know what's happening with the Flyers, and I think you're right. I
gave you, I don't know if you heard earlier, I did give you some credit because I agree with you. I know weird things for me to say too. And I do think the Flyers will try to make some splashes this offseason to bring in some more wily vets, more bigger names. And do you feel that the Sixers have made enough of the push to make other players feel like, yeah, okay, this is the destination I want to be. I want to play under Rick Tocchet. I want to play with, with guys like Martone and Vladar, maybe Mitch Kopp can get his head out of his ass type situation.
I do. I think that, this is the best thing that could have happened in a business standpoint for Danny B and Keith Jones this season, this type of season. I don't subscribe to the whole, it's been a great learning experience. I don't know what the hell that means. Losing is not a great learning experience in any shape of the way. So I'm not going down that road. But as far as opening up this as a destination of wanting to come play, yeah, I think it could be that way. But the problem is here, Al, and this is some of the Flyers fans out there, they're going to have to come to grips with this. If you look at the free agent market as it stands right now for 2026, we are still a face of the franchise away from being a legitimate Stanley Cup contender. There are no faces of the franchises available in free agency this year. There's a few complement players. There's a few older guys, a lot of older guys that could come in here and help the Flyers. But until they go in and get that guy, because I don't think Mitch Kopp's that guy. Porter Martone, I don't think will ever be that guy. It's that guy, that number one center. He's not available in free agency. So the Flyers are going to have to go out and sort of get a trade going or two to try to get that guy here. There's a couple of those guys out there that they could do and get a trade with.
Is there anybody on a team that kind of like the Flyers last few years is kind of in a rebuild stage or not really the contend stage? Is there a guy or two in your eyes that you feel that they could make let's not sell the farm, but make a trade with and bring somebody in?
Yeah, I actually mocked up 2 of these trades, and I wasn't going to reveal both of them yet, but I've revealed one of them, and we'll talk about that one. The Toronto Maple Leafs are in a free for all right now. They're going to have to rebuild, and I think they know it. Austin Matthews would be that guy. That would be that guy if they could try to find a way to get Austin Matthews here. I believe the trade I mocked up. I don't have it offhand. It's in my other studio, but it's something in reference to sending Travis Konechny, Ristolainen, who in essence would be a draft pick as well, because he's going to hit the free agent market next year, so he could get flipped at the trade deadline next year for the Maple Leafs to bring in maybe a second-round pick. And that most coveted first-round pick that the Flyers now have that used to be Toronto's for next year. I think that's the kind of trade, and I like to call it the John LeClair trade. That's the trade that Danny B needs to make. That, like, oh my God, this is huge. This is a big, big chance. Like, trading Mark Recchi to the Canadiens was for John LeClair, who John LeClair was nobody when they acquired him. Either was Eric Desjardins, but they turned up being some of the 2 greatest Flyers of all time. That's the type of trade Danny B needs to have this offseason. That's the type of offseason Danny B needs to have. And it's going to come with a certain risk involved, because you're going to have to.
All trades have an inherent risk.
But what I mean is, over the past 3 years, as the Flyers have been rebuilding, it's been the Garrett Hathaways and the Ryan Palings and the Sean Walker's type moves. I don't want to see any more of those. We have the complement pieces now. Now we need the big bangers. Now we need the guys. Now we need the faces of the franchise. The Flyers are operating less than 10% effective on the power play in the playoffs. That is utmost embarrassing.
That's what I said early on. I said something like, "Oh, we're not having Owen Tippett. Vladar is playing not healthy." I said, "Listen, that doesn't help. Don't get me wrong, but it's and I kind of think I quoted you. I said I'll have to give him an idea. I said that sooner or later the special teams is going to catch up with them. You had 9 penalties. You had you were 0 for in your power plays. You can't. Especially as you get higher up in the playoffs, you can't get away with that."
You can't. But if you go out and everyone says, well, what's wrong with the power play? Well, it's very obvious what's wrong with the power play. We don't have the talent on the power play in order to score goals. And Austin Matthews does that. Josh McCabe also is another player that I want involved in that trade. He's a defenseman. He's a top tier, top 1-2 combo defenseman, right-handed guy, helps out and stabilizes that blue line. Mm-hmm. If the Flyers could pull off a trade like that, and there's a second trade, but I'm not going to get in. I'm going to save that for later on. But if the Flyers can make that kind of move, then you can go out and use the free agent market this year with some of those older centers, those older veterans, and bring in a couple more complementary pieces. Then you got something happening right now. But until the Flyers jump both feet into the pool and bring in that face of the franchise guy, this is what they are. They're a playoff team. They're back to relevant, but they're no closer to winning a Stanley Cup today than they were 2 years ago.
Okay. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree with you that they have to make some sort of splash. Do you think that they can do that? You believe in Danny Briere? Do you believe in Keith Jones to pull off something along those lines?
Well, they've always said that they're here to win cups, not make the playoffs. Keith Jones has said that. He said it multiple times. I've heard him say it. And this is a year where you got to strike where the iron is hot. You got to take advantage of where you're at right now. And they got to go ahead and do that. I do think that they would do that. There's a couple of players on this team right now that are just not fitting in our timeline. And Travis Konechny is one. And he's disappeared in the playoffs. He's done great work as a Flyer. And unfortunately, we did not do anything around him for his career here. The best Travis Konechny could do for us right now is help us become a Stanley Cup champion involving in a trade of some sort. So I think it is. I think they can do it, and I think they want to do it. It's just a matter of trying to get the right price.
I'm trying to pull something up for you while you're talking. I just saw it really kind of quickly out of the corner of my eye. I'm trying to see if it's on Twitter. Allen Iverson was just, I believe it was Allen Iverson, kind of went really quickly. They had him in the stands at the Sixers game, all decked out in Flyers gear, like a Flyers jacket, a Flyers hat. It was all orange and black. Actually looked pretty cool, I'll be honest with you. But I just thought it was funny to have the Sixers game down to
Hey, would you say AI put on about what 50 pounds since he retired?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, he's got a couple chins there.
Yeah. Oh man, I saw him. They did that thing the other day. It wasn't the other day, but they did that where they honored the 01 team, and he came out. I'm like, oh my god, man! AI, what the heck?
AI had a couple LBSs. But all right, let's talk about Mitch Kopp for 2 seconds if you have a moment, because I don't think you're ready. He's ready to be traded. I really don't. I'm not sitting there saying he deserves anything, because first part, I think you're trading him at his lowest point at this point. I think you can only hope he has a better season next year, where if you did want to trade him, you can get him at a little bit of a higher rate. I feel he's definitely a mental issues with him more than ability to play, physical issues. Are you ready to move on? Like, unless I'm not saying, like, listen, if the right package is there and Mitch Cobb's going to be the guy, I'm sure you're ready to move on. But I'm just saying, are you ready to just move on peanuts, pennies on the dollar with the guy?
Well, I'm never ready to move on from anybody that was taken in the top 10 as of the draft and for nickels and dimes and pennies. But there's a thing going on with Mitch Kopp that not a lot of people really, I think, taking credit for or taking into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch Kopp created a cardinal sin in the hockey world. He came into camp completely out of shape. He came into camp completely not ready to compete in his second year in the league. Yeah. I mean, his attitude heading into this
more of a mental issue than anything else. Like, I mean, is it more of a fixable issue than the guy just can't play in the National Hockey League? He just can't keep up the speed. He can't do anything with it.
Listen, he can play in this league. Don't get me wrong. He can. But one, we want him to be a certain way. We want him to be at a certain level. I don't know, even if he did come into camp, ready to play and ready to compete, that it was going to develop into that. Mitch Kopp has been swallowed up by this. Mitch Kopp's offense, it's completely non-existent.
Non-existent. You could tell it's caught up with him, especially against the Hurricanes. And the only thing I can say is, if you want to look for a shining light, maybe when they did sit him in one game, he was a healthy scratch or whatever you want to call it. Maybe the one, even with the Noah Cates injury, now you got Jet Lachenko getting his playoff opportunity. But do you think, at least if you trying to put a positive spin or any bright light on the situation, that maybe, like, all right, he's in the playoffs, he's seeing that he is ill prepared, that maybe he doesn't let that happen again? I mean, that's the only thing I can think. I just don't think you can get rid of him this offseason. I think I won't say untradeable in the sense that because he's irreplaceable. I'm saying untradeable because you're going to get pennies on the dollar for him. I'm not talking about actual financial, but like any return at all.
I mean, it's going to come down to how much damage has been caused by that inside the organization, how the organization feels about him. When the organization is run by two former players, it doesn't help. When it's run by two former players, especially two former Flyers themselves. I don't know. That's an interesting situation. This could be the clashing of the old school and the new school world, as it pertains to player maturity and player, being held accountable. To answer the question about getting rid of him or moving on from him, if the package is there, there's nobody on this team that's untouchable. Sure. Nobody. To include Porter Martone.
I see that about anybody. I don't care, the Phillies, the Flyers, the Sixers, the Eagles. If the price is right, the price is right, because it is what it is. I mean, like take the A.J. Brown conversation, right? You can get 2 first-round picks for him. Doesn't mean you're going to get A.J. Brown back. He's going to be a big loss no matter how you slice it. But if you don't want to be here and you can get top dollar for him, then you take what you can get. But in this instance, it's a little different. He was a first-round pick. You put a lot of your eggs in the basket of Mitch Kopp, and had a really good season last year. And again, I'm really trying to think that this is more of a mental, like, long from home, just kind of not in the right state of mind.
Stop it with
this
that.
Sports psychology kind of comes in important. Do you not? I mean, because you just said the guy can play, right? You're pretty sure he can. His
family is here with him. They've been here since he.
I'm just saying, like, I'm wondering if it's like a mental depression or something that's keeping.
What, he misses Siberia? Misses hugging polar bears, man. If that's the case, send his ass back to Mother Russia then, man. I don't want a guy like that here. I hear what you're saying, all right? Yeah. And there's also an optical standpoint to this. If the Matthew Michkov thing is a bust and they move on from him, that's 3 straight draft picks, first-round types that they completely screwed up on. Cutter Gauthier, Matt B. Michkov, and Jet Lachenko. That does not look well.
The Jet's up right now, bro. I don't know how.
I'll never forget. We were doing that show that night when they took his ass, man. I was like, what are you doing?
You've never seen me shuffle so many papers. I'm not ready for that one. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, so there's an optical standpoint here too, and they definitely want to try to make him work. And to be honest with you, he's under team control for the next, I mean, let's face it, 6-7 years. If they do it right with RFA, with restricted free agency, that's all completely team friendly. So the Flyers held all the cards here. It's going to be interesting to see what they're doing with Michkov. You're right. I don't think that there's going to be an offer that comes down that someone's going to be like, ooh. Now, maybe Michkov's part of a package. I don't know. For, say, Austin Matthews.
Yeah, we'll throw him in there, and maybe we can get him to turn his game around. Like, I mean, times a good player doesn't pan out, they think you can turn him around. Like, he's worth it because he's just part of the package. But I don't like kind of like what Bruce is saying. He's lazy and he cares about himself. And if that's the thought process out there, I don't care how good he is, nobody's going to want him.
No, he's not Connor McDavid. All right, he doesn't have that type of ability. I mean, maybe Connor McDavid can get away with that because he just is that good, and his laziness is still better than 99.9% players in this league. But I think Michkov's part of the Flyers next year. I do. I just, as you said, I just don't see
not have him at this point. Like, I don't think you have an opportunity not to have him unless, like you said, he's part of some sort of trade package that's to get something over a hump.
Now he might be attracted to, as you said, to a team like Toronto, who is now going to rebuild, and they're trying to rebuild the pieces. And here you go, you're essentially sending them in my trade package. It would be, a first-round pick next year, Michkov, a former first-round pick 3 years ago, and you could flip Risto for a trade of a second round, maybe second-round pick next year. That might be something they'd be interested in. And if they are, I suggest you seriously listen to them and we try to make that deal go, because they do have the money in free agency. There's just not too many players that fit there's no players, honestly, that fit the long-term Flyers goals inside of free agency right now. Everyone's up in the mid-30s, late 30s. You got a couple 2-3 year contract guys, maybe 1 year guys there. So I would not expect the Flyers to be as active in the trade market this summer as I think they're going to be in the free. I think they're going to be more active in the trade market because there are some pieces on this team that other teams are probably going to look at and say, you know what, this might work out. Like Owen Tippett could be attracted to for other teams that have a player like that.
Before he got injured, I mean, you cannot not be attracted. Yeah. I mean, he's really kind of starred this team a little bit outside of Dan Vladar's play early on. Yeah. And a question, because I know you don't have a lot of time here, and I love when you come on because they ask you this. I know the Phillies are down right now. Right, Remuta just struck out, but the Phillies have guys on second and third. The Harper just scored at 7-3. One foul swing could get this within a one-run game. But Kyle Schwarber hit his 200th home run tonight. A blast of a home run. 415 feet to be exact into the upper deck there, the second deck. It is his 200th home run with the Phillies in his 666th game. The number of the beast for those who don't know. It is his fourth fastest player to get to 200 home runs with one team in Major League Baseball history, trailing only Mark McGwire, Babe Ruth, and Ryan Howard.
Good for him.
Good for him.
If they lose tonight, they'll be 0-3 in those god-awful City Connect uniforms to start the season. That's all I'm taking from this game.
Hey, maybe that's where like Bryce Harper having some pull could definitely be like, we're getting rid of these Connect jerseys, and they're like, all right, fine, we're done.
So
remember when they stopped before he started making them wear the red spring training jerseys?
I'm telling you, they should go. Wear the red maroon spring training jerseys and the black pants. Go with that. See how that works. I don't know.
Anything's better than this. God awful. I always say I sign up for Friday games, and I'm like, ugh. I thought
they were going to change them. Honestly, they could have changed them this year, but they didn't. And I thought they were going to.
I think you were mistaken.
Every 2 years. No, I saw. I researched it a couple different times. It's every 2 years they're allowed to change the Connects.
And with the
every third year, which would have been this would be year 3, calendar year 3, not 3 years of wearing them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
the opportunity of not the 250th anniversary of the country, the All-Star game being here. A lot of stuff being in Philly. I mean, you could have just really got to the historical part. And like we did those jersey runs, but we were doing right before the season started.
Yeah, they could all wear powder wigs.
Yeah, that would be better than
that's right.
I could have doodled better jerseys on the back of a textbook. I'm just saying.
It's a great accomplishment for Kyle Schwarber, but this week has been the big conversation: the missing right-handed power bat problem that we have, and also now the Alec Bohm thing has crept up.
And how important starting pitching is between Andrew Painter yesterday and Jesus Luzardo's kind of crap start today. Ooh.
Let me ask you this. If they were able to bring Pete Alonso in for the money that they brought in Kyle Schwarber, and then they were able to close the deal on Bo Bichette, because Bo Bichette would have played third base for this team. Are they where they're at right now?
It's a great question. It's a great question.
Bichette might have come in playing a different position in the infield. I don't know where he would have played, but obviously, I think that we're talking a different. Yeah, there's a double. So what now? 7-5.
Should score 2. I'm getting. Yep. I mean, so you got guys. Yep, he's on second. Yep, 7-5.
So what do you think? I mean, honestly, you bring in Alonso, who unclogs that DH position. You bring in Bo Bichette. You can bat him. Hell, I would bat Bichette second in the lineup, and then you'd have a lineup that would consist of Turner, Bichette, Harper, Alonso.
I'd sign up for that in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
but one thing for you. So I was going to save this for the what's called the Fightins final. I saw this. I tweeted it out. I retweeted, I should say. This just made me laugh. And he brought up Bichette. So we all know Bichette ended up kind of using us to bolster his agreement with the Mets and to get a nice payday. And the Mets, the only team, one of the few teams that look worse off than the Phillies do. At least during they're not getting any better. At least we've had some success as of lately. We'll see if that continues, of course. But I'm going to play a little video. This is how bad the Mets, I guess, play calling and all that stuff had to get, because they're looking for anything. So I'm going to play this. I don't think we should get dinged on anything for this one.
Ready? Just the end. What's Lady and the Tramp?
They share a hot dog just like
spaghetti.
Spaghetti, right.
It's very romantic, Keith. It is kind of beefy.
Yeah. All right. You know that image is going to live forever. You're never going to be able to live that down, either one of you.
For Keith, he won't be able to live it down. For me, it's a career highlight. Hey, guys.
I don't know. Watching Keith Hernandez and some other guy which they refer to as the Grizzilla.
The Brazilla.
Hot dogs, glizzies, the Glizilla, like whatever. Yeah. Just taking lady and tramping these 8-foot-long hot dog, all beef hot dog, is the highlight of the Mets broadcast, which just made my day. Because Keith Hernandez, there's no love lost in this city for Keith Hernandez.
No, Crawford's first homer. Yes, it is his first career home run.
What? We must be synced up, because that doesn't always happen that way. We got a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. The Phillies were down 7-0. That's right, 7-0. We were just talking about getting them on the board with the Kyle Schwarber 200th Phillies home run as a Philly. And now they brought it all back with Justin Crawford's first career home run as a Philly, with a 2-run jack, making it 7-7. Bottom of the 8th, 2 outs. What a hit. What a way. I asked this question earlier. With that happening, and the possibility if they win this game, they can win this series and win the next series, we could be talking about this time next week, Mountie, be a 500 baseball team. on May 15th, just knowing about 1 month ago where we were at. We were all.
Yeah.
I was about to hand in my resignation papers because I don't think I could do a whole summer of that.
You
know what I mean? But like, is this? I want to say a turnaround. I mean, they still have their same flaws we knew going into it. But are you a little surprised that they were able to turn it around as much as they have been so far? And if they do, is exactly what I say. On May 15th, I said June 1st at best if they somehow started playing some consistent baseball.
And it's funny, 9-19, typically when you look at 9-19 to start the season, it's a death roll. It really is. But with that third wild card, things have changed so much in this sport. It ain't about winning divisions anymore. It's just about winning enough games to get in at the end of the season. So they had that going for them. But as far as their play and their turnaround under Don Mattingly, it's pretty evident to me why it happened. It's because the starting pitching did stabilize. Now, last night and tonight we haven't gotten good starting pitching, but the starting pitching stabilized, and I started seeing that under Thompson. I did at the end when Wheeler came back. It was that was the beginning of it when Zach Wheeler came back in that Saturday night down in Atlanta. Then the starting pitching started to pitch a lot better. Now, am I saying that they would have continued this under under Rob Thompson and maybe, Rob saves his job? I don't know that question. I don't know the answer there, and I don't want to find out. Obviously, we can't do that. We already did what we had to do. Al, I just thought that going into this season, there was a vibe, and I read a lot into what Dombrowski said last year at the end of the season, and he said that the Phillies were going to create that additional in-game MLB coordinator position that a lot of teams that had adopted it. Now, he mentioned 85% of the teams in baseball were using that. They weren't. It's only like 35%. But the Phillies were going to do it, and they were going to take their current bench manager or bench coach and make him that position. And that he said specifically, we are looking for a bench coach that has former Major League Baseball managing experience. He said it. He said it specifically. I can imagine if it was me, I'm the Phillies manager, and I'm sitting next to Dombrowski when he says that, I would have looked right over at him and said, "What do you mean? What the hell are you trying to say, dude?" Yeah, well, you're just tossing me under, so you're putting me right on the hot seat. So I mean, I read really deep into that, and between the lines, I don't know if this was something that the Phillies expected to happen, and that they were positioning themselves. And I thought it was going to be Mattingly from all along. I've wanted him here for years, and it worked out. And now I wanted him the manager of this team, and that's worked out. But I just don't think that the organization had faith. This was one of the only managers that I know in Phillies history that never got a long-term contract, ever. It's always a 1 year, 2 year extension. The Phillies never fully committed to Rob Thompson in that way. And if they were so on board with what he brought to this team, why didn't they ever just lock his ass down? Now, because he was going to retire. Rob Thompson ain't going to retire. As long as he's manager, he's going to stay in that seat. And he said it himself when he got fired. He's like, I'm not retiring. We're going to take it one day at a time. And kind of sit back and wait for things right now. But he said he wasn't retiring when he got fired. So I just think there was something about Rob Thompson and the organization, not necessarily in love with him, that kind of put this whole thing into motion. Dombrowski deserves a lot more credit than what he's willing to accept right now.
Do you think that has something to do with the way he handled things?
I do.
Do you think kind of like the whole Bryce Harper's not elite, like his words kind of in his eyes trying to motivate? But he also was playing, I'm gonna play this close to the chest and have a backup, kind of like Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts type situation.
I honestly think that Nick Castellanos thing, whatever that really was really detrimental to Rob Thompson. I think the organization really did not like that whole thing, and they blame, I think, Thompson for that, for that situation getting to where that was. I also think the Matt Strahm comments after the end of the playoffs last year, that also was a clear sign to the organization that these players feel way too comfortable to say things like that to the media. And that can't happen. I think that the organization was starting to feel a little concerned with that comfortability that these players had with Rob Thompson. And it was starting to show by their performance and by what they thought they can get away with. So I think the handwriting was on the wall for Rob Thompson and the Phillies long before
then I
what
blame
happened.
Dombrowski even more, because if you had that feeling about him, he should have let go.
I agree.
Should have never been here
100%.
for this year. He should have you should have either got Mattingly or got somebody else to do the job prior and called it a day.
Yeah, and you're right. Again, and Dombrowski's a whole other problem here, because how he managed to maintain to have his job after all this is another one. Is another
Well,
what
is
moment?
it the owners at Middleton not willing to fire somebody, or he's afraid I wonder if he's afraid if he makes too many changes, they have to start over again, and they have these Bryce Harper, these big contracts with him and Kyle, and are they just not able to do good? God damn it, Alvarado.
This guy's washed up. He's
like
washed
I'm sitting,
up.
and the funny thing is I'm watching, like, all right, he's dealing tonight. He's hitting his mark. He has his elite. He's got his elite, speed and the ball there. But
no, he's not. I'm concerned about his
juice
long term.
But
that's the problem. He needs to get back on the juice.
Yeah. Before you go, if you want any really good signs and get everybody, because the conversation is going to start up again.
Oh wait, we got they're coming together for something.
They're saying it didn't hit him. They hit the knob of the bat.
It looks like it hit it right on the shin, on the guard. It looked like it hit him right on the protector.
Yeah, that's what I'm thought. But what's the combo?
That's got to be the combo.
But just so you know, because it's going to spark the conversation, Dante Nori's fourth triple of the year, on pace for 19 this season. Bring him up.
No.
Bring him up.
No. Bring him up to AAA. Yes. Bring him up to the majors. No. This is ridiculous. This is crazy talk. Did you talk to him earlier tonight? Did he get that going with you?
I'm just messing with you. I listen to your shows, and I'm like, I know Al's listening to me. I know he agrees with me on this one.
No, I am not in favor of bringing Dante Nori up yet. Not yet. But maybe that didn't hit him. Oh, that's interesting.
I'm watching the slow-mo. I'm just trying to see. It doesn't look like it, but then his hand moves a little bit.
No, it does hit the bat.
Yeah. It's so I guess it's so hard because these things, it comes off the bat a little bit. It does ricochet.
It deflects right off the knob of the bat.
Mm-hmm. But if you pinch it, all right, as an ump, so I got my hand at the end of the knob of the bat.
That's off the bat.
But I'm saying, if I have the knob of the bat right here on the meat of my hand, and it pinches the skin and hits the bat, that's a foul ball, right?
No, if it hits any part of your body or any part of your hand, it's a hit by pitch.
Okay.
It's a hit by pitch. Doesn't matter where your hands are placed. If it hits your hands, it's a hit by pitch.
Even if it hits my hands and the bat.
I've had coaches walk up and tell me that the hand or the bat is an extension of the hand, or the hand's extension of the bat. I'm like, no, man, the hand is extension of the arm. All right, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. It doesn't work like that. No, if it hits his hand anywhere, in any way, or part of his body anyway, it's hit by pitch. It looks like they're giving it to him. Or are they still talking about it? But no, I don't want Dante Nori coming up.
No,
but
they just made a pinch runner. They just changed.
Okay, so it's going to stand. I don't want Dante Nori up. Nor do I want who's the other one that we're talking about lately? Well, I know obviously the Aid Miller thing. It's pretty bad, but no, I don't want Dante Nori up right now. I don't. Just let him.
I do worry about that a little bit because, I think the Phillies had a little bit hoping that he would have a decent spring, even if they could bring him back up, because I think he was what Don Mattingly was. What was the Rob Thompson? I think Aiden Miller was to
Alec Bohm. And maybe that's why they didn't care about finishing that deal off with Bo Bichette, because they had the Alec Bohm wild card. Yeah, the Aiden Miller wild card. Yeah, the Aiden Miller situation is a lot more of a very, very tenuous situation, because Bohm's a free agent at the end of the year, and there's no way they're bringing him back. But they may be put in a situation like they were with JT. They have no other options in the system right now. If there's something, and Aiden Miller, the more time he misses, the less chances he's going to have to play next year. Don't forget, he had like 10 at bats at AAA. That's his career down there in AAA. So they're not going to take him off the shelf being hurt and then pull him up to Major League Baseball next. Jesus Christ. So this Aiden Miller thing is a deeper hole that the Phillies have kind of dug themselves into right now. And I really don't know what they're going to do about that. But I asked this question this week, Al. Let me ask you a question. And I believe you chimed in with it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go after a right-handed power bat or do you go after a third baseman right now?
Can I have both?
A right-handed power hitting third baseman or both?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Can I have both? I mean, it's the answer all the above. I'd say right-hand power bat if I had to choose. I mean, Alec.
And what do you do with Bohm? You ride Bohm out?
You ride Bohm out to the trade deadline, try to get yourself a third baseman. I mean, any third baseman at this point would be better. Like any third baseman would be better at this point, right? Like one team has a third baseman that you wouldn't take right now.
No, but the problem is who's going to take Bohm off our hands? No one's taking Bohm off our hands unless there's like 3 high prospects connected to him. Because they'll also be taking Bohm off our hands just for a rental because he'll be a free agent himself. And if you look at the free agent class of next year, oh, there he is. Oh, he looks good. He looks good in Flyers colors.
I like that hat. I like the orange F behind it.
I do like that.
Yeah, but he's a big boy.
Yeah,
I think that those that either Roman numeral 3 or how many chins he has. We haven't decided yet. I should really talk because if you look at the comments from earlier, I think it was Bruce. I know what he meant by this because AI and Al always look like Al. I feel like it says AI had too many dirty Lukes. I was going to say, I feel like, is it Al or AI? Because you would be right on both accounts.
I know he had a table. Was it at a Applebee's down in South Philly that he used to go to every post game back in the day? And a corner table, right?
Yeah, and he had a drink of choice, kind of like Shirley Temples and Joel Embiid. There was also something I'll tell you. My favorite Allen Iverson story was, I went to a game. This is towards the end of his career with the Sixers. I went to a game. I was with my buddy. We had tickets. The Sixers were getting blown out. They took Allen Iverson out. We left and we went to Atlantic City. So I was just 21 years old at this point, if that. I'm trying to think. Yeah, whatever. We were down there. And we left. The Sixers game was just getting over. We pulled up in park. I'm walking in, and there's Allen Iverson coming out of the limo. I mean, unless they had a rocket ship in that limousine.
Shower. You got changed there. And right out the game, right into the limo.
Jumped in the limo and shot down.
Also, do those players, does Allen Iverson, all-time Sixer, NBA Hall of Famer, does he pay for those seats?
No, I think they put him in there as a
ambassador.
I think he's an ambassador. They want him there. No, they're not going to.
He deserves it. Yeah, he deserves it.
Dude, the last time I really enjoyed WIP, they had on Allen Iverson. A guy wrote a book. He was Allen Iverson's, I guess it was his agent or his money handler, or maybe both or something like that. And he was just telling story after story about Allen Iverson and his mother's spending, where she wanted to go visit a friend or something, and she tried. They had like a travel agent that they booked their travel through, and she called to make an arrangement. The lady said, "We can't, Mrs. Iverson. Unfortunately, you have like $40,000 bill to pay for us." And she's like, "You know who I am?" And she calls him up and yells at him about fixing. And calls out and goes, "You don't have $40,000 just to give away like that right now." Like it's just like that was so typical how much he just dug himself into, a hole financially. And I don't think he has that. I think he's made enough money with endorsements and stuff like that to live a comfortable life right now, but and live off his name of AI. But other than that, I don't think he's living in any high rises or anything anytime soon.
And to his credit,
he got
out of it. Yeah, he got out of it. To his credit, he lived. I don't think he was going to church much during his playing days. He lived a pretty, out there lifestyle, but he never brought that into the game. Never crossed paths with the game. And he must have had some people around him that really took care of him, like really protected him from situations when he was out and about. And you got to give credit there because, obviously he was living a life that he probably could have been, Kobe got wrapped up in some of that stuff, and he never did. So you gotta give credit to whoever his people were.
Yeah, no, you do. You absolutely do. And I think it. Do you think if what's Andrew Painter has one more bad outing, they're going to send him down? Before you say anything, is people, that's not a bad thing. That happens. Roy Halladay was sent back down. A lot of the big names that did not come out on fire. Paul Skeens-esque, Skubal-esque type throwers right now. So it's not a bad thing if that happens. It's just who they're going to bring up is the question.
And that's what it comes down to. Alec Boehm's situation. Now we just morphed that into the Andrew Painter thing. Has he earned a trip down the Lehigh Valley? Probably has. But just the sheer fact of who in the hell is coming up here to replace him in the lineup in the rotation. Taiwan Walker ain't here anymore. Ranger Suarez ain't here anymore. Ellen Rangel, I guess he'd be the guy to come up. Listen, I don't necessarily want to send him down, even if he gets shelled again. I think he needs to figure this stuff out. And he's the fifth starter in this rotation. And this rotation continues to morph back into what they can be. I'll take the fifth day loss of an Andrew Painter start until he figures himself out. It's overblown a little bit more now because they're still haven't pulled themselves out of this. So every game right now is so goddamn important for this team, as it should be. But in a normal situation, I'm prepared to give Painter carte blanche on trying to figure out how to figure.
I think Rob's a little ahead of the game right now. They're only in they're bottom of the ninth. Rob, that was the top of the ninth.
So you got walk up possibility here. College forward.
So there's a possibility. Did you know this? Because I didn't see this yesterday. Mike Silsky tweeted out that Pico rescinded their sponsorship of the Flyers power play.
I thought it was a joke. I did.
It's like Mike Silsky. Because I
thought he was being sarcastic. I thought he was being sarcastic.
And I can tell you for instance, because if anybody's been following the Pico, the IBEW, the strike, and all that stuff that's about to come upon them, because if they don't make some changes from safety aspects, maybe that has something to do with it. Because actually, my best friend and one of my groomsmen in my wedding is the head of the IBEW union. He's the sponsor leader of the union right now. So I kind of know that a little firsthand. But I wonder if that had something to do with it. I'm gonna send him a message after the show. Did you cause this?
Listen, it's pretty funny and satirical. I might not be what that's all about, but yeah, good for Pico. 0 for 7 in the power play last night, 3 for 13 in the playoffs. Yeah, I rescind my partnership too with your power play, man. Yeah, I did see that. But I totally thought that was just frustrated satirical humor.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder too if it is or not, but I don't. Do you think he would say that? Like, you think at one point he would be like, "That's a joke."
Yeah, he would probably have already countered it. But yeah, so maybe it's true. No.
Is that Bryce? Yeah, no.
Yeah, we're going probably to extras.
I think Rob was reading the crystal ball.
Maybe he's in the bottom of the 10th or maybe we're on the time lapse and Rob is ahead of us, like majorly.
Yeah. Maybe my YouTube TV is way behind.
Yeah, so we'll see how this works out. But listen, Al, I just want to pop on because I heard you say realist and it got me. It piqued my interest.
I appreciate it. I'm sure you wanted to. I got to take a jab at him. I know.
Yeah, well, I wanted to get confirmation that you're, that's what you said. Maybe you said something else.
Say that. I've been very realistic. Have I said anything that's out of left field?
Not as it pertains to the Sixers and the Flyers, no. But it's not football season yet, so I guess we'll have to wait for that.
Yeah, give it time. All right, brother. I appreciate your time. Go to your weekend. Go see the missus. And
I will.
Tell her happy Mother's Day, by the way.
Oh, I will. I'll pass that on and to yours as well, and all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day.
All the mothers out there, and I will see you all Mother's Day next. The next time you'll see me, it'll be Mother's Day morning.
That's
I'm
right.
sure my wife is going to be super happy about that, but she'll get over it. She's
Yeah,
having
but you're
breakfast
not her
with my daughter.
son. Why would she be mad at you? You're not her son.
I know she's not going to be mad at me. She does not get mad at me by anything. I make
I
all
used
that.
to, I do that all the time
She
with
does
Nina.
get
I
mad
said,
at me
listen.
about shit, but not that.
She goes, "What are you gonna get me for Mother's Day?" I'm like, "Nothing. I'm not. You're not my mom."
Talk to your kids, damn it.
Yeah, I'm your husband. What the hell are you talking about?
Well, I told her I'm going to buy her a bunch of not like flowers, but like because she's digging up the front of the house. She dug up like a big area to put flowers and plants into. And I said, I'm going to do that. And she goes, well, that's what we were going to do anyway. I'm like, two birds, one stone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Do you not want them? I said, do you want to split it with me? She goes, never mind.
All right, man. Listen, you guys have a good night. Good to have a good fight in final. Let's hope we get a Phillies win. All right.
Yeah, right. Hopefully we can have a good W on that one. Take it easy, buddy.
All right, brother.
There. That is Matty B. And as he just said, it looks like, sorry, I'll take the glass off for a second. Looks like the Phillies will be going into extras. We got to really hope they hold on to this one because you know what? I like to see him come back from a 7-0, 0-7 deficit and not make anything happen of it. For those who are watching the Sixers right now, Sixers are down 105-89. This thing looks like it's all but done right now. They're going to be down 0-3, kind of hanging out with the other team in the Wells Fargo or Xfinity Mobile Arena, being 0-3. And I just hate it because it's the New York Knicks. Like anybody else not stand Knicks fans? Like I know we hate Dallas fans. I know we don't like Penguins and their fans. But New York fans piss me off the most. Can I just throw that out there? Because I said this earlier to Michael Papernick, for those who are joining me. Us Philly fans, we kind of wear our scumbaggery, patch on our chest with pride. We know that. I always referred Philly as kind of scumbags with a heart of gold. Like that's kind of where I've always kind of dropped it in there for me, as kind of that way. But Knicks fans they're scumbags who think like they're mongoloids. Like they're just, but they think they're elitist because they go to New York because New York's is the first thing everybody thinks about America, and every other movie's filmed in New York with New York in background. I even know it's filmed in London and Toronto, but it's called New York. Let's just throw that out there. The new Spider-Man movie was filmed in London. All right. Not some, I'm sure they took some outside shots in New York, but it was filmed in London. All right. But with that being said, I really think I can't stand New York fans more than Dallas fans. I mean, maybe it's because Dallas fans are so delusional. It's just like it's kind of comical at this point. And for those who are going, Orion Kirkering is coming in the 10th right now to lead it off. Let's really hope they can get this done. I really would love to see the Phillies win coming back. Like you really need to, like, I'm sorry. There's nothing worse than fighting back down 0-7 to tied up 7-7 and then losing it. Like at that point now you're just wasting my time watching extra innings because I'm now 2 hours and 3 minutes into this broadcast. Still have to do a Fighting's final with you. So I'm looking at least 2 hours and 30 minutes, if not longer, of a full broadcast. So now you're really going to piss me off. No, I'm just kidding. And that's fine. Like I'm just saying, like but just do you New York fans? Do they get my craw more? They live off of old, Yankees wins. They live off old. The Mets fans are as delusional as Dallas fans. The Giants fans, they're kind of coming down to earth a little bit. But now that they got this John Harbaugh, who they're going to be the greatest team in the world because of a new coach, because the coach is what's been holding them back. Jets, I don't need to say anything about the Jets. God, I just feel bad for them sometimes. Rangers, can't stand Rangers fans, can't stand Knicks fans, just can't stand them. Like, just the New York douchey, I can't stand it. Like, it just, it's fake bull crap. They come down here because they can afford the tickets more down here. For what we think is ridiculous at the Xfinity Mobile, what they pay up in New York is just god awful. Like it's a steal in their eyes. Just watch them stand up and clap and take out Brunson. I just Tracy Morgan, put your hand down. Tracy Morgan. Great show, Big Al. I might not make your next show. Sunday, I guess you're talking about? Well, if you're not, see you on Sunday. You have a great weekend, Rob. You're a wonderful human being, and I appreciate you as always. So if you don't, I hope you have a great weekend. I'll see you. I'll be back on Tuesday for the final. All right, didn't score him, but they got a hit here. Ryan Kirker, it's a guy on first and third, one out. Double plays in order. Maybe they can play that off and keep the game tied. I would love to see this game tied. I think if they get the game tied, they can move some guys over. It would be a huge coup for them. Sixers are down 107-92 to the Knicks with about a minute and 42 seconds left. Just god awful play from the Sixers. I mean, they got hosed in game one. They let it go in game two, and they just didn't have an answer for the Knicks here in game three. Like, it just really, I don't know what else to say. And then watching those douchebags cheer and have a good old time in our house, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. That wasn't a strike. No tap on the helmet. No, okay, it's whatever. No, it truly is unacceptable. At this point in my eyes, that they're allowed to take over. And listen, I don't blame people also not for buying Sixers tickets and not 100% believing them. And because you just went the way they played the first two games, I wouldn't want to fork out money right now for this team. And I sure as shit, if they lose tonight, wouldn't fork out for game 4 either. I mean, that was close. That's, I mean, if I had an opportunity to go to the Flyers game tomorrow, I'd take that. I'd take that opportunity. I would take that opportunity in a heartbeat. Thank God he went golfing on that one. But I sure as shit wouldn't pay. There's probably gonna be a ton of New York fans there this next game if they're down 0-3. I mean, I don't blame people. Costs way too much money to go to these things. Costs way too much money, and then parking, and food and concessions, and if you buy anything souvenir for the kids or anything, it's a mortgage payment. It's at least 2 car payments. You know what I mean? And I don't blame them, but also just it aggravates me watching these douchebag Knicks fans just living it up. So there's about a minute left in that game. They're down 108-94. I mean, outside of some sort of freaking miracle, this Sixers game's all but done at this point. Now, let's see if the Phillies, pop up good. Shallow left field keeps the runner at bay. Ooh, that was a close throw. All right, 2 outs, guys first and third. Nobody scored yet. If Kirkering can pull this off, that'd be a huge coup, and it'll be up to the offense to win this game. Absolutely up to the offense to win this game, because if they can keep them from scoring, the pitching does their job to keeping this game within reason, and the offense did their job in coming back, then they need to finish the job. And it looks like this is going to go final right now. 14 seconds left. They're just carrying the ball around. 108-94. Sixers game is just about over. And it is final as of 3, 2, 1. Sixers are now down 0-3. Brunson's a jackass. Sorry, he is. I mean, to be honest with you, I did not see the Sixers winning tonight. They don't have an answer for the Knicks right now. And they don't have any depth. They don't have anybody who's going to be able to come in and spell Embiid. They didn't have anybody that spelled Maxey all half of last game, and that hurt him. I don't care how young and spry he is. He's not going to be able to handle it in this. Sixers organization is not. It's failing every time. And they try to get under the salary cap and got rid of Jared McCain. Like, you couldn't get anybody else under the salary cap. I'm sorry, just stupid. It's just stupid. I mean, I don't know who I can get a little annoyed with more is Dombrowski or the Sixers organization. I mean, Dombrowski for failing the Phillies in many ways and just keeping it too interesting for us, you know. At least if you failed miserably. There we go. Strikeout, baby. All right. Orion Kirkering did his job. Now the Phillies offense needs to do their job. They're going to the bottom of the 10th, still tied up 7-7. There's going to be a ghost runner on second. They should get this guy over and do their job and end this game the way it should be. Again, Rob, I agree with you. I mean, it's just, it's getting a, it's getting to a point where it's hard to, you know, they're getting like the Flyers to a point. Like, you know, I wasn't even 1 year old. I was just born. I was about 6 months old when they won their last championship. And I know the Flyers, I wasn't even a thought in my dad's head when the Flyers won. So, it's getting to that point. But, you know, I am behind. No, listen, I'm behind. Of course, I'm on YouTube TV, which is going to be about a minute behind. And then I'm also streaming. So it's going to be another minute. So I'm going to be like 2 minutes behind. Ultimately. But this is where, you know, Kirkering did his job. He sat him down. He didn't let him get over. This is where the Phillies have to be better. Okay. Flyers, we got to look towards the future. Sixers, we got to see if they can make some hay. I don't know what they're going to do. Yeah, Phillies are going to the bottom of the 10th. That's what I said. That I know. I know where I'm at. They're just coming back from commercial on my end right now. This maybe they're a couple minutes behind on the like I said on the broadcast. But we are going to go into the fight final hopefully very shortly. And I'm actually going to get the media switched over for that. So let me do that right now. But I will play the music once this game's over. Mickey Moniak, former Philly Mickey Moniak, has moved to center field for I guess a defensive substitution. I don't know. Maybe did he pinch run there? Maybe he pinch ran. That is a possibility. Oh, Matty B left already, but I'll let him know you said good evening. It's been a tough, for all the excitement that the Sixers and Flyers have brought this last past week, I should say. This last week has been the opposite in a brutal way of watching them just not being able to get over the hump. Come on, JT, one swing. Come on. I'm surprised they didn't pinch run Garcia. Because you only needed one run to win this all. I'm not saying that anybody else would have ran there, but I'm a little surprised. So Bryson Stott's up batting. So he's been a little hotter lately. Let's see if he can. A nice, well-placed single can win this. But I would have loved to see if at least they could have moved him over in this. At least got him at third base, make the job a little easier. Same way with the Flyers. That's right, Ian. Just Flyers and Sixers alone. Like we were all super high last week on them, and now kind of reality starting to set in that there's still a lot of work to do for both those teams. And we all knew that kind of more with the Flyers than we knew with than we were hoping with the Sixers. Maybe thought the Sixers had a little bit more of a fighting chance, but the Knicks are just making fools out of them, and it has to be New York too. All the teams, I could have taken almost any team. Boston it's typical for us, but New York, man, I just can't stand them. I can't stand their fans. I can't stand a lot about them. Ian, I'm going to bring you on. We're going to have a short time here. Ian, what's going on?
How you doing, man?
I'm going to bring you up to the end of this Phillies game. So the Phillies game ends. I'm going to have to cut you off because I'm going to have to move over to the Fightins final. But what brings you in, Ian?
Oh, let's start with how crappy this weekend. When we talked about, I think last time we were talking about the excitement with the Flyers, but now I'm seeing a team that's completely dead. So I'm thinking, all right, let's prepare to make the offseason moves. One of them, I'm considering. I'm feeling I might get some resistance on this, but what about bringing back Peter Laviolette as the special teams coach, especially with power plays?
I don't know if it's coaching will make a difference as much as personnel. That's my question. Do you feel like it's Rob Brindamore can't do it, or do you feel like that it's in my eyes? I think it's more the personnel. They don't have the personnel for it.
I think it's a little bit of both because you do have a bunch of youngsters coming up, but this has been the problem for the past 5 years, and we've had the same guy. I can't remember his name, but I think there just need to be some changes within the front office as well, because you cannot be last in the power play for like 5 years, especially just making the playoffs. So I do think some adjustments do need to be made right there.
Yeah. Well, the Phillies squandered their opportunity to win the game again. Now they're going into the 11th inning. I mean, like the more like this really like if you really want people to start feeling excited about the Phillies need to win this game. You can't let this opportunity fall between your fingertips because you really let a lot of people down going into this series this season. People are starting to feel comfortable with you again. You're down 0-7 after really taking a whooping last night with Andrew Painter. Taking a whooping this evening with
I think they got to make a trade.
Who?
Phillies.
Oh, I think so. We need a third baseman or a right-handed third baseman would be wonderful right now.
But right now the talk is ironically the outfield with Trout again. That's been coming up.
It's always Trout.
I know,
he's having a decent season. I don't think Trout's going to come here. I think it's a pipe dream. I don't think Trout wants to come here.
Oh no, Trout. Phillies are the only team that he has waived his no trade clause on.
I don't know.
And then when I'm looking at the Sixers this year, it's the same old stuff. So the question is, what's going to be made around there? Yes, we made progress with the Young Bucks. Joel, how long is that going to last? It's like, can we keep having faith in him? And I want to have faith in the guy.
Well, he does that. Like, I mean, to be honest with you, the album was way over him last season, going into this season. And then, he's healthy again. And then, I need an appendectomy, like
that's not his fault when his appendix is burst.
I know it's not his fault. It's just like the basketball gods gave him these genetic blessings, but they also cursed him with all that. I've
never seen such a frail body.
Yeah. Keller's pitching for the Phillies, as Star Wars noted. As Rob notes, we're going into the top of the 11th, 7-7. Keller does make things a little. I call him heart attack Keller because he reminds me of heart attack Hector a little bit because it's never a 1-2-3 inning with Brad Keller, as we would hope it to be. But they need to keep this at a 7-7 game, and offense has to not let this slip through their fingers because it would really be a truly crushing blow for the Phillies after 2 games in a row, being down, showing them, and as I speak the words.
And then when it comes down to the Eagles, I'm just hoping they get compensated.
What the hell is that stupid dance? I'm sorry. Sometimes these players' dances are getting ridiculous. 8-7. Phillies are down. No outs. Guy on second. And Brad Keller's the situation. God damn. Cardiac Keller. There you go. Cardiac Keller. Yep, Maddie. That is that. You're right on the nose on that one. He is like he just high hopes when he came in here. Like we thought it was a really good addition, and he has not made anything easy at all. We haven't lost yet, Star Wars, but we definitely have now. You have to score 2 runs to win the game. So that is No, the Phillies need a change, Ian. I mean, it's 100% true. I mean, they need a right-handed bat. They I don't know about the outfield in the sense. I don't know about the Trout conversation.
Keep
but
Crawford of anything. Like keep Crawford. Keep
no, I
Payton.
don't think they're getting rid of Crawford. I don't think they're getting rid of Crawford. But I would like to see a right-handed third baseman. Not like a doesn't have to be like a
Hitter will be also
superstar
nice as well.
right-handed third baseman. But I would like to see any other third baseman who can hit right-handed is a positive in my aspect over Alec Boehm.
Yeah, I think Boehm gets
been coming out of
featured
it.
in the traded. Here's a question I was wondering as well. Do you think the Eagles get compensated with this whole thing? Do you think at least I would at least like to get a second round pick
situation?
You know, the whole AJ Brown because
Mike Vrabel, Diana Rossini.
Yeah, because that's tampering to that.
So
that is
the
federally
NFL
tampering.
has not come out with anything. The NFL is not doing an investigation. The Eagles haven't really said much, but I wouldn't be surprised. And this is my tin hat theory, okay? Just hear me out on this. It might be a little left field, a little crazy, but it's a little bit of a tin hat theory for me with the Eagles. I wonder if the Eagles and the NFL and the Patriots sat down and said, figure it out. Patriots, make this right. We don't need this. Vrabel, you screwed up royally. Patriots, you're going to lose your head coach if this goes through. And you're going to lose a first-round pick or something. Like, I wonder, something along those lines. Like,
you have to give up a first.
I wonder if Roger Goodell has the Eagles and the Patriots in the same room and said, figure it out. And I wonder, like, listen, we want to trade A.J. Brown to you. We'll do it, but you're going to give us what we want. And I wonder if it's going to be next year first round pick, and maybe this year first round pick they already picked.
I will go next year and the following year. That way you have two future ones.
Yeah, but you could get a guy this year, even though you traded him post June 1st, and their first round pick was on the Eagles' big board. So maybe this was put in play a long time ago. Oh God, Keller, you son of a bitch! But you know what? But I blame the offense on this loss, and I'm kind of previewing because if they lose this, I mean it's not looking good. 9-7 now. Preview of the Fightins final right now, even though it hasn't gone final yet. Now it is 9-7 Rockies. Really, just opportunity for the Phillies to win this game. Just slip through their fingers for the most part. A low percentage chance, but
Keller's theme song.
But it's the offense's fault on this. Kirk Green came in and did his job. Didn't let anybody score. 7-7. You couldn't get a ball in the outfield twice to win the game? One long ball would have moved second to third. Another long ball would have moved third to home. Game over. We'd be celebrating a win right now. I blame the offense on this one. This is a major loss on the offense. If this holds up. I mean, Brad, whatever, we're stuck with him at this point because our bullpen's getting a little thin. I mean, Kyle Backus is still injured. Zach Pop, that really moves the needle, is still injured, and Max Lazar are still injured. So now it's 2 outs. So hopefully they can keep the bleeding to 2 runs. But now they need 3 runs to win the game. The last thing we need right now, I'm 2 hours and 23 minutes into this broadcast. I started a little earlier to give everybody a chance to come on, like you, Ian, and everybody else to talk and have all these conversations. But I'm like, I didn't expect this to go this long because usually I don't start until about the 5th or 6th inning. I'm like, I'll start a little early tonight to keep the conversation flowing with everybody. But now I'm regretting it. I'm losing my voice over here, man. It's just ridiculous.
You know what cardiac Keller's theme song should be? Who played that song? Cardiac, Billy Joel.
Billy Joel. A heart attack, tack. Yeah.
That might be the funniest one.
Yes.
But then I'm also looking through it now, looking at the offseason with going back to the Flyers here. Acquisitions, because you know what? I would probably make a call with Edmonton and see whether they'd be willing to give up. What's their guy's name? Top guy, their best guy. I can't think of his name right now. Their top player. What is his name?
What, Edmonton? The Oilers?
Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
Over to hockey real quick. Just want to make sure we're on the same page. Yeah, Star Wars Sixers down 3-0 or down 0-3. So them and the Flyers are in the same boat right now.
It's going to be a long week.
Yeah, and especially after this could be like the one saving grace tonight. Phillies come back from an 0-7 score, come back, tie the game up, had a chance to win it in both the 9th inning and the 10th inning, and squander it.
McDavid. That's
Huh?
who it was. I was thinking.
Connor McDavid?
Yeah.
What do you got to give up for that?
I would give up 2 firsts, and then with his cap, even though we got a bump.
I know we have the Toronto unprotected one. I know that's.
Yes, that I'll throw that in there.
Is Edmonton?
I'll throw another first round. Risto, and Hathaway just to cut into the cap because you got to balance the cap in there. And they're the 2 good chunk players that eat the most because I'm not going to trade away the young guys. And then maybe a second or a third into it, like as well, like throw a hefty pick, like throw something as a temptation because I think Edmonton is considered rebuilding as well because them in Colorado desperately need picks for their guy, which is Nathan. What's his name? I don't know it as well. Nathan what? Someone in the chat's going to nail it, and I'm going to be feeling stupid for that one because I know they're going to need it because what I've seen is the Flyers are ahead, but I still think we can just make just 1 or 2 moves, and I think we can just be a cup contender next year because now we have.
I think they make some big moves. I don't think 1 or 2 simple moves. They need a couple stars, and they don't need aging stars. They need a couple stars who can carry this team a little bit more with, and hopefully, improved play with.
There's only one aging player that I consider, and that's
if you move on, listen, to bring like Matty B said earlier, to bring on guys.
That's who it was.
Yeah, McCann. I know you're talking about, but my point is to bring on anybody like that, it's going to have to be in trades. Who you got to give up, and if you give up too much,
that can also hurt you.
It's going to hurt you. So that's a balancing act. It's not easy. It's just not easy to do.
The only move that I've considered not making in trades is bringing back Bob because his contract's up this year, and I don't know what Florida's going to be like next year.
I mean, but as a number 2, I wouldn't hate that.
Number 2, or even as a number 1, because especially within the playoffs, he has the experience.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the worst thing as well.
But Bedard's done a damn good job even in the playoffs. I mean, he's just had no defense in front of him, and the penalty kill has been terrible, and the Flyers have just really let it down. All right, well, the bleeding has done, but not, it's 9-7. Going into the bottom of the 11th inning, Phillies have to score at least 2 runs to tie and 3 runs to win. And if they only score 2 runs and tie this game, I might choke somebody. I might have to put like a pause screen on for a second and come back in or whatever. I need to take a bathroom break at this point. It's 2.5 hours. I thought 2.5 hours would be not as long as the broadcast would have gone. I'm not even in my Fighting's final yet. Man, I mean, I'm kind of into the Fighting's final right now, but it's not final, so I really can't call it the Fighting's final. But it's this is what gets what's it called? Called fans all upset about the Phillies. And like, listen, Phillies, you have every opportunity right now to be the heroes of the town. Like, think about it. To be honest with you, they have every opportunity to be the hero of the town because the Flyers and Sixers, as we know, are both 0-3, and looks like they're going to be the only gig in town from here until the start of the Eagle season. And you want people to pay attention, you got to be better. And this is the kind of shit you can't pull. Like, you can't pull this shit, and they're pulling it.
Well, they also know right now that it's going to be just between them and the union that's not doing well with all the talks. Because right now, if the Flyers come back, knock on wood, the Flyers come back and win this series down 3-0, and same thing with the 76ers, they don't have to worry about it because then the only ones that are going to be talked to deal with the anger at both sports teams then it's going to cool down, and then it's just going to be just minor off-season talk between those two teams. Like I said, the Phillies and the Union, and then whatever thing that's going to be going on with the Eagles.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not trying to bash the Union. I'm not a big soccer fan, but I know you, Ian, do follow them pretty well. But I'm talking about the four majors. I mean, like,
well, also don't forget the World Cup.
Union can go on a roll, and most those fans wouldn't even notice in Philly town.
No, last year they were doing extremely well, and people were talking about them pretty heavily.
I'm not saying they weren't talking, but I don't think a Union championship would make me feel better if the Phillies could plummet, the Sixers and Flyers are out, and then the Eagles have to wait till the Eagles. No offense, just that's my personal opinion. Nothing against them.
Well, the same way it was with the Flyers back in the 70s. Like, no one really cared until it actually happened.
Here we go. Now we got earpiece issues after 11 innings. Even the batteries must have ran out on their earpieces. They're probably like, forget about it. All right, I'm going to actually let you go because I'm going to get ready for this final. I have a feeling.
All right.
I'm not trying to be doubting Thomas over here, but I mean, now listen, one swing of the bat ties the game up, but I'm also trying,
be realistic.
That's wishful thinking. But, buddy, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for joining me. All right.
All right. Talk to you later.
See you. Crawford having his first major league home run tonight, tied this game up 7-7. Still with an opportunity to win it in the 10th or the 9th and the 10th. Offense after that has let them down. And it's they're squandering these opportunities, just squandering. Now, right now, I don't know, Mejia. I don't know how you say his name. Their relief pitcher right now. It's having a hard time finding the strike zone. It's just 2 pitches, but we'll see. Yeah, and hopefully that continues. Hope Crawford does not swing at anything until he gives him something to swing at. That will be interesting to see. But again, not trying to be if Turner's coming up. He's 0 for 5 on the night. He would definitely need to come through on this one. Like, I guess you want to say he's due. You get Crawford him on base, well placed single can tie this game up. Why are we swinging at that? Jesus. Come on, Crawford. Sorry, I don't like calling the games live, but it's kind of gotten to this point right now in the show because we've talked as what we could talk about at this point. Unless you guys want to message some questions, and I can't really take any more calls at this moment because once this goes final, I'm going to have to kick you off anyway and go into the Fightings final. Crawford. All right. He's elite speed. Well placed hit ball to third base. Third baseman's his energy, his body was taking him that way, away towards the dugout. So had no throw, no play at first, and Crawford dug that one out. So hey, get on as you can. It's up to the big boys now. So this is what I'm talking about. It's up to the big boys to come out and do what he's supposed to do. So we got Trey Turner on big money. What's that? What is that? The old pressure luck. Big whammy, big whammy, big whammy, big money, big whammy. Stop. Right? I'm old. I know, guys. All the young guys out there going, "What the hell is he talking about?" But 2 out, no outs. Men on first and second. Turner's 0 for 5 for the night. Is with 2 strikeouts. Come on, man. What are you swinging at? Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Try not to do this, but there's nothing else I can say right now. I'm so enthralled into this game. It's important. The guy's having a hard time. Let him throw you a pitch. Come on, Turner. He almost swung that too. Come on, man. They might hand you this game. I really feel like the Colorado bullpen is trying to hand them the game. The offense is just not taking it. All right. Well, he moved one guy. He moved over Sosa. He's trying to end that in one foul swing, but I would have taken it. Don't get me wrong. Double plays in order. Schwarber. I think you got to have Crawford steal in this one. I really do think you have to have Crawford steal the bag. You want to take the double play out of order if Schwarber hits into something weak. I mean, that's not his. Now, I wonder, with the bag open, do they take their chances with the double play in order and put Schwarber on first? Do you automatically walk him? Auto 4-ball? Nope, they're going to pitch to him. Well, at least so far. All right, Schwarber. Schwarber, big night tonight for him. 200th home run as a Philly, 415. 415 footer into the upper deck, second deck. None of one of those would be really, really important right now. Can just turn this game around and end this game. End it. They have to end it here. I'm sorry. You can't. I mean, you can tie it. Don't get me wrong. You could tie it, but for my sake, you have to end it now. Like, end it tonight. End it right now. One, two. Like, come on. This is what I'm talking about. More big money right here. Guy's not really pitching great. He's giving you an opportunity. Here, Schwarber taking a timeout. Yeah, come up to late in a crowd like this. I know. And like, you're sitting there going, all right, we stayed back. We didn't leave early. They tied the game up. We're sitting here. And then you guys are going to pull this crap. And now we're going to go sit in traffic and go home. And you might lose this game. Schwarber. Strikes out. God damn it. Way out of the top of the zone. 99 mile per hour cheese. Right out of the top of the zone. Bites on it all the time. Come on. Well, it's the showman's job right now. Showtime, Mr. Showtime, Mr. Showman, whatever it is his nickname is. It's all on Bryce Harper. That's what I'm saying. It's all about the money. Can the money come through? We talk about being clutch. That is the question right there. $1 million question. I mean, he tried to end it in one fell swing right there. I'm sorry about all the silence, guys. I really am. I'm apologizing. I'm trying not to do, calling the game. Like I said, I would let this guy throw me 2 pitches before I swing. Unless there's something that was just so lovely I couldn't say no to. You know what I mean? And honestly, this is the one time I kind of want them to swing for the fences a little bit. But a well-placed double will tie the game. And the game is over. The game is over. That is your final. The Phillies lose tonight, 2 nights in a row now. After magical, what looked like was going to be a comeback win. Just a weak ball, second baseman. You want me to do a watch party one day? Maybe I'll do that for the next game, next Friday game. We'll do a bit of a watch party because that's kind of what it is. Fill it in the blank with other conversation. But, that's it. Final. So what does that mean? Womp womp. Yep, that's right, Ian. What does that mean? It means it's time, finally, for the Fighting's final. Finally, let's go. All right, welcome those who've been here with me for 2 hours and 40 minutes into the Fightin's Final, finally. The finally Fightin's Final, whatever you want to call it. The Phillies have lost the game in 11 innings, 9-7. After what looked like to be just going to be a long, drawn-out throwaway game, number 2 in a row, with some fireworks at the end to tie the game up, but not enough to win the game. Some historical moments to talk about tonight. We'll talk about that, but not enough for a win. Sixers lost tonight, so everybody's low on the Sixers, low on the Flyers. The Phillies ain't helping the conversation either right now. Like I said, 9-7 loss, bringing the Phillies to 17-22 in their first game against the Rockies in this weekend series on this Mother's Day weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all your wives, your mothers, any of the mothers out there listening, whatever it is. Happy Mother's Day. I will be talking to you on Sunday and wishing you that then too, but not a happy Friday. Sixers lose, Phillies lose. Even though the dramatics were there for them to win it all, the Rockies kept trying to hand them this game, and the Phillies refused to take it. That's right. Let's go into your box scores right now. Trey Turner was a big 0 for 6 tonight with 2 strikeouts. Kyle Schwarber, big one from 1 for 6, 1-run score with an RBI, which was a home run, but he had 4 other strikeouts in the most inopportune times that we needed it. Bryce Harper was 2 for 4 tonight with 1 run scored and 2 walks. Adolis Garcia was 0 for 4 tonight with 1 run scored, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Brandon Marsh was 1 for 3 tonight with 2 runs scored, 1 RBI, 2 walks. Speaking of RBIs, he's one of those bright spots. Remuta was 1 for 5 tonight with a 1 RBI and a strikeout. Stott was 1 for 4 tonight with 1 run scored, 2 RBIs, a walk, and a strikeout. Sosa was a big 0 for 5 tonight. And Crawford had himself a night tonight. We'll talk about that in a moment. He was 3 for 4 tonight with 1 run scored, 2 RBIs, 1 walk, and a strikeout. Phillies lose the game with 41 at-bats, 7 runs, scored 7 runs on 9 hits, 7 walks, and 11 Ks. Just wasn't enough to get the job done. Let's walk through the scoring. Let's kind of play this game out a little bit. It started with young TJ Rumfield, grounds out to second base, scoring Jordan Beck in the top of the first, where Jesus Luzardo struggled mightily, making it 1-0. That brings us all the way to the top of the fourth. Hunter Goodman homers, 2-run jack, scores him and Rumfield, 3-0. And then the day really got away from us as the fourth inning continued. Kyle Karros doubles on a ground ball to left field. Bretton Doyle scores. Will Castro scores, making it 5-0 Colorado. And then it doesn't end there. Tovar singles on a line drive to center field, and Karros scores, making it 6-0. And it would stay 6-0 until little hope came from the one big solo shot, one hit all night for Kyle Schwarber. And it was a hit. It was a hell of a hit. 415 feet into the right field, second deck. 200th home run as a Philly for Kyle. Would have been a bigger story tonight if they didn't lose, but it makes it 6-1. Bottom of the 6th. And then JT scores on a double, or JT doubles, I should say, scoring Brandon Marsh, making it 6-2. All right, little life, bottom of the 6th. But the top of the 7th, Tyler Freeman homers, makes it 7-2. And then the air continues to come out of the old proverbial balloon. Bottom of the 8th, Brandon Marsh singles on a line drive. Here comes Bryce Harper to score. And Garcia moves to second, making it 7-3. Bryson Stott doubles on a line drive to center field. Garcia scores. Brandon Marsh scores. Now we're 7-5. Our lives are locked on to the TV for sure at this point. And then another historical night. Great game for Justin Crawford all around, but not just a great game, historical moment for himself. Justin Crawford's first home run in the majors, first home run as a Philly, right center field, ties the game up in the bottom of the 8th, 7-7. Opportunities in the 9th for both teams to go up. Both now the Phillies, they don't take the opportunity. Next score comes in the top of the 11th for Troy Johnson with Cardiac Keller, as Matty B has named him, making it 8-7, and Jake McCarthy singles, making it 9-7. And that would be all the scoring because there would be opportunities for the Phillies in the 9th inning, or I'm sorry, in the 9th inning, in the 11th inning, but the opportunities came to the big money. And this is might as well just play the music now because here it comes. Broad Street bottom line is the big money came up short tonight, and this is why people get upset with this team. This is the moment that gave any one of them, Turner, Schwarber, Harper, a chance to shine, all three of them, in the moment, knowing how the pitching struggled. I mean, they went through a lot of pitchers tonight. So not that only did they didn't win this game, not only did they not win this game, they also put a huge dent in their bullpen tonight. Gonna wonder who's available tomorrow. Luzardo could only muster 3 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, all 6 of them earned with 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, and a home run. Bolin came in 2 innings, let up 1 hit and got 1 strikeout. Mazik came in 1 hit, 1 run was earned. That was that home run, but got 2 strikeouts. They brought Duran in the 8th. He let up 1 hit, but 2 other strikeouts, got through the 8th. Alvarado, he didn't let up any hits. They had 2 strikeouts. Kirkring did his job, only let up 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Kept this game tied in extras. Phillies offense failed them. Phillies big money failed them. And Cardiac Keller came in and did what he did both and blow it. 3 hits off let up 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, and 2 strikeouts. Tonight, 11 innings pitched, 13 hits were allowed, 9 runs, 8 of them earned, 3 walks, 16 strikeouts, though, and 2 home runs. Just not good enough. They had opportunity after opportunity to win this game. Rockies kept trying to hand him this victory. Rockies fans are probably pulling their hair out at most of this game. And they failed them. Tavares Nolan, I don't trust. Well, Nolan had a really good outing last time. Let's hope he can do it twice in a row. He's got to trust the offense at this point. Got to trust the offense at this point. And they fouled us. And that's the problem. Let's take another trip around the bases. All right. Right now, at bottom of the 9th, it says KC's up 4-3 over Detroit. So, actually, that should be a win. That is a win. It moved over. Sorry. That was just updating on my computer. So, bottom of the 7th, the Cubbies are up 7-1 over the Rangers. Bottom of the 3rd, Mets and Arizona are tied at 1. Your Apple TV game right now is mid-3rd. St. Louis, San Diego, knotted up at 0. Atlanta and the Dodgers are knotted up at 0 at top of the 2nd in L.A. After just 1 inning, the Pittsburgh and San Fran are also knotted up at 0. Final on the day, Houston put a clobbering on Cincinnati, 10-0. As I just mentioned, the Phillies fell 9-7 in 11 innings after some comeback fireworks. Just not enough. Athletics win 4-3 over Baltimore. Toronto loses today, or wins 2-0 over LA, or over the Angels, I should say. Boston won 2-0 over Tampa Bay. Washington beat Miami 3-2. Cleveland beat Minnesota 6-4. KC beat Detroit 4-3. Seattle and Chicago was trying to put up 20 runs altogether, but Seattle wins 12-8. And Milwaukee beat the Yankees 6-0. And that is your round trip around the bases. We had a very long show. I'm not going to keep you much longer on this one, kind of a bridge version. Harper had a chance to be clutch, but didn't. Everybody had a chance. Schwarber had a chance. Trey had a chance. The guys, the bottom of the order, did their job. Not the money tonight. But that is it for tonight, guys. I'm about 10 minutes into almost 3 hours into a show, and I got to pee. Man's got to pee. So I am going to let you guys go on a short and abridged Fighting's final, but we all know how it played out because I talked you the whole way through it, especially the last 2 innings. So on that, guys, enjoy your night. Happy Mother's Day to those I won't see on Sunday, but when I do see on Sunday, all you mothers out there, I will wish you another happy one. Have a great evening, guys. I'll catch you next time.